That one into the end zone, and here comes Eli Manning. Chosen, of course, #1 in 2004 by San Diego. Came over in a trade. You see his numbers, 27 career touchdown passes at home against Philadelphia. It should be noted, Manning is just 10 wins and 16 losses in his career against Philadelphia. Two teams had a wild game when both were at full strength, especially the Giants on offense back in week 3. Two teams combined for 37 points in the fourth quarter. That's a second-year receiver, Sterling Shepard, up to the 30, a gain of 5, and the rest of the Giants on offense. And we figure to see a lot more Wayne Gallman Jr. this week.
Yeah, and also take a look at Evan Ingram, number 88. He'll line up a tight end, slot, and wide receiver, a tight end body with 4.42 speed, a rookie out of Ole Miss.
Mike Sullivan now the play caller after the firing of head coach and play caller Ben McAdoo. And out of the shotgun, another short crossing pattern and another completion. And again to Shepard. Philadelphia on defense, among the very best in all the NFL.
Now take a look at Fletcher Cox, who will cause havoc inside. And this is what we were talking about, going up-tempo for the Giants to get Eli in rhythm. These young receivers in rhythm. Got him. Free play.
Free play for Eli. He's going to put it up down the sideline for King and batted away by Jalen Mills in coverage of Tavares King.
It just seemed to operate better. When you go no huddle, you force the defense to show their hand a little bit. Also,
offside. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
You have the ability to control the substitution, any type of matchup that the Eagles want to get in, or personnel groupings, by going no huddle. That is in control of Eli Manning.
And it's not too tough to get this Philadelphia D to jump. That's 16 times now they've been whistled for offsides penalties. That's third most in the NFL. If you're wondering, the league average at this point in the year is 9 of them. Another short throw and another completed pass. This one to Roger Lewis Jr. There is a penalty flag on the play.
It's a little bit of the RPO, the run-pass option. The Giants are copying this right from the Eagles playbook, which we'll see Nick Foles run.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's a left tackle Eric Flowers. There are changes along that offensive front. The right tackle Justin Pugh has been out with a back injury. Finally goes on IR. Chad Wheeler, the rookie out of USC, starts there. And Bobby Hart is getting the start today at right guard. He played right tackle last week. Sitting down right in the middle of that zone is Shepard, already his third reception. And second down upcoming. You know the story on Eli? From week 11 of the 2004 season to week 12 of this year, he started every game at quarterback for the Giants. 210 in a row. That ranks second all-time among quarterbacks in league history. Brett Favre started 297 straight. And the catches made by their leading receiver, the #1 pick out of Alabama, the tight end Evan Ingram. He leads his team in not only receptions, but yards and touchdowns as a rookie. And they're hurrying it up on this 3rd down and 3.
I like what they're doing. They're seeing matchups, and Eli is recognizing matchups that he likes against the Eagle defenders. And they're exploiting those, getting rid of the ball in a hurry.
Good throw and a tough catch in traffic. Excellent reception by Ingram. And right there with him was Ronald Darby.
But this is where size matters for the receiver up against the corner. The ball's thrown high and away, only where Evan Ingram can get it. And he's a matchup nightmare for corners, for safeties, and linebackers because of his size and speed. An excellent combination. Getting better each week, Evan Ingram.
Eli 5 of 5 to start the game for the Giants. They have not scored a touchdown on their first drive all season. And they're getting closer on this completion to the Columbus, Ohio native out of Bowling Green, Roger Lewis.
So you hit a bunch of short passes, quick throws. Right now it's all set up. We're going to have a slant and go. There's the slant and the double move go, and Eli has perfect timing, throwing it to the outside shoulder, only where his guy and no guy gets it. And that's all the setup because of all the quick passing games they were going.
118, what's it?
This is Gallman, who touched the ball 19 times last week. He had 99 yards from scrimmage against Dallas, 12 rushes, also caught a career-best 7 passes out of the backfield. And that is their first running play of the game, and it went nowhere. They jumped again, another free play. And it's caught inside the 10-yard line by Sterling Shepard.
They're forcing the Eagles to play a really vanilla-type defense because when there's a no-huddle, as a defensive...
Defense number 96. The penalty will be declined, and the result of the play is a first down.
As a defensive play caller coming into the game, you have a game plan against certain formations. You're only going to play 2 or 3 defenses. So this is something that they're keeping note of in the press box. When we go no huddle in this information, we know they're going to play this defense, and we run the play to attack that particular defense. You're showing your hand.
Where's the hut? 118, where's it?
Ninth play of this opening drive. And the Stonewall meeting Orleans Darkwa, their leading rusher on the season. Nashville, Tennessee native, his 4th season as a Giant, but the first time he's ever been a starter. Took over week 6. And Nick Foles waiting for his chance.
Like to work Ingram down here in the red zone.
Excellent protection. And is that a catch and a drop? No, incomplete pass to Shepard. Favorite target of Eli early on. Already 4 catches on this opening drive, so now it's 3rd and goal.
And Shepard's going to come across the line of scrimmage, and from a slow motion point of view, it looks like he catches the ball, but he certainly did not secure it when he hit the ground. Big 3rd down.
Eli dragged down from behind by Vinny Curry, his 4th sack of the year. So after an excellent drive to move down the field inside the 10, and now there's a penalty flag in the corner of the end zone that comes in late. This could be a huge call.
Holding. Defense
It
number
is.
31. After this is going to go, automatic. First down.
How about that on Jalen Mills, a first-year starter out of LSU?
Jalen's doing a good job of filling in, and we're taking a look at up top. Jalen Mills, and we'll see where the holding is. Right there, he hooked him. You didn't need to. You had good position, plus you had help inside. You have to trust yourself and not panic just because the receiver's running in the blue. Your position was fine.
Robert Thomas checks in.
118, what's it?
In the front of the I formation, they fake it to Darkwa. And Eli rolling, he'll just throw it away. Pressure applied by their leading sacker on the year, and Brandon Graham, already a career-best 8.5 sacks for this longest tenured member of the Philadelphia defense.
He's had a great year, and I'll tell you, Nigel Brodham did a great job of disrupting Ingram at the point of the line of scrimmage where he could not release out into the flat. Good discipline by the Eagle defense in their man coverage.
Steve Spagnuolo, named the interim head coach 2 weeks ago, lost last Sunday to Dallas. They hand it off to Darkwa. He is the only Giant with a rushing touchdown so far this year, and he's denied the end zone here by Najee Good. 13th play of this drive coming up for the Giants.
We talked to Coach Spags on Friday. He told us about Giant pride. It means something when you walk into the building that these guys aren't going to tank. They're going to be professionals. Well, you're down here on a 1.5-yard line. It's time to show Giant pride, because this is where you fight to win and keep yourself going. show people you're not quitting.
They hand it to Darkwa, and he falls into the end zone. A touchdown, first time all year long. The Giants have come up with 6 on their first possession of the game.
Rhett Ellison does a tremendous job here. I mean, everything is good, but watch number 85. He's going to combo block, stop here, then continue his block on the cutoff. We're getting a pull around and the kick out. See Rhett Ellison right there, just get in front of Kendricks just enough. He helped with the double team, and Darkwa does a nice job of going north and south, getting in the end zone, and Spags was right. At least on that first drive, there is Giants pride.
It's been one of the great organizations in the history of the National Football League. And clearly, outside of last year, this will be a 4th season in the last 5 with a losing record. But tremendous pride in this Giants franchise, and that one is blocked. Derek Barnett looked like he got a hand on it. So 6-0 after the Darkwa touchdown. Nick Foles when we come back.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. How many is too many bits? How does it fold?
Doesn't look right.
There it is.
There you go. So when's the little lady due?
In like 4 hours.
Adoption.
Yeah.
More nonstop flights so you can be there when it matters most. Behind every story is the reason for transparency.
Look, there's no law that says your truck can only haul gravel. Introducing the new 2018 Ford F-150 with best-in-class towing, best-in-class payload, and best-in-class torque. The F-150 lineup has the capability to get big things to big places big time. So bring out your ATVs, your campers, your Palominos. Hey, you're not always working, but your truck is. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
It's almost Christmas, Dad.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen, it's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
The new celebration rules are in place, and Pepsi is all for it. Antonio, what have you got in mind? Bit of a throwback. Looks like the Charleston. You never see that in football or anywhere.
I got my ticket for...
What are we doing with our lives?
You got fired? No, I quit. It's fine.
Oh, come on.
I would do anything to sing with you guys again. One last show together. Doesn't seem like a disaster waiting to happen. Let's all finish this.
What a beautiful group.
Every one of them going nowhere.
Pitch Perfect 3, rated PG-13.
We've been rehearsing for weeks now, and tonight we go live. Are you ready? I am.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
When you're a team that struggles to score points, you need every point you can get, and a lot of it's technique. First of all, Barnett's going to get skinny and turn his shoulders. Flowers needs to get that right arm up and punch. His arm is late. Barnett turns his shoulders, quick swim move, and gets into the kicking lane. You're averaging 15 points a game. You're 31st in the league. You're playing a playoff team. You don't give away points.
So that one down on one knee, and let's check in very quickly with Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
Thank you very much, Tom. Vikings chasing the Eagles. Opening drive of the game, Latavius Murray scores from 1 yard out. Minnesota clinches the division with a win. Vikings up 7-0. Tom?
Hi, Carissa. Thank you. We get a look at 28-year-old Austin, Texas native Nick Foles. Came over as a free agent from Kansas City. You know the story on Foles. Drafted by the Eagles in the 3rd round in 2012. He started 24 regular season games. Was a starter the last time Philadelphia went to the playoffs in 2013, and he had a great year. First throw complete to Alshon Jeffrey, and that'll be a game of 12. In that year, Foles had 27 touchdowns and threw only 2 interceptions. He got hurt a year later, wound up being traded, and a lot of changes along that offensive line. No Stefan Wisniewski at left guard.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, the right side has been good, and the receivers have been outstanding for the Eagles. They do a great job of spreading the ball around and make you defend the whole field as a defense because of the variety of areas they attack all over.
Of course, their tight ends have been a huge factor, even without Zach Ertz playing regularly, and that is Ertz on the reception. And excellent coverage by Landon Collins. When you talk about Collins, he leads the team in tackles, went to Pro Bowl a season ago, and you know, Chris, he injured his ankle last week. He's ready to roll here 7 days later.
No, he's a baller, and I think when you're rebuilding the team, which they'll be in rebuild mode after the season, you want to get people like Landon Collins that sign their name each and every week to what they do, more importantly, how they do it.
That catch by Ertz was a loss of 2, and they will give it to Jay Ajayi. And a penalty flag down on the play. Ajayi playing in his 6th game since coming over in that trade from Miami.
So we talked to Doug Peterson.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face. Number 90. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Doug Peterson told us incrementally that Jay Ajayi is going to get more and more involved, and I happen to think that's the right call. I think LeGarrette Blount's a nice number 2 back to bring in there, but it won't be long before Ajayi is the number 1 guy, and I think personally he needs to get at least 20 touches a game. He has that kind of ability.
Well, in the game last week, he had 15 carries for 78 yards in that wild win over the Rams, and LeGarrette Blount only played 15 snaps in that game. They fake it to Ajayi. Foles rolling and finds the open receiver. Bobbled in the air, and did he catch it? That's Aguilar, and it is a reception, at least for the time being, at the 41-yard line.
Aguilar does a good job of maintaining focus and concentration. See Pierre-Paul trying to get in the throwing lane. That 6'6" body, clearly a catch of Nick Foles as they go hurry up, helped him throw over Pierre-Paul.
Darian Thompson knocked it loose, but it fell right back into the arms of Aguilar, and here comes Ajayi. And he's inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. A gain of 3 on first down for Ajayi. What a year he had last year. It's hard to believe a guy who had the kind of year he had became available a year later. He ran for nearly 1,300 yards, went to the Pro Bowl, and it looks like Aguilar is shaken up going to the Philadelphia sideline. He is.
Hopefully that's not serious. He's a big part of this and really excelled once the Eagles moved him into primarily the slot receiver position. He can work those matchups when you're in a slot on linebackers and safeties.
They were screaming and yelling this time a year ago that Aguilar was a draft bust in the first round. How about that head fake by Foles? Now lofts it to the end zone. And that'll be pass interference called down there on Darian Thompson. Trying to stay with Torrey Smith. Well, what a move that was by Foles. Just a subtle move you see frequently in basketball.
Pass interference. Defense number 37. By rule, the ball is placed on the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Well, I mean, you're just going to show right here where Foles is Pierre-Paul is going to come in on him. And what happens, he jumps and leaves his feet. All he has to do is put his shoulders through the rib cage of Foles, and I like the interference call because you're beat like that, and Thompson had to tackle him or it was a sure touchdown. At least you gave your team a chance to fight. If you're beat, go ahead and tackle the guy, live to fight another down.
They bring in Corey Clement to the backfield, the rookie out of Wisconsin. He leads his team with 4 rushing touchdowns.
Well, we got a big leaner here with 67.
Clement is inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Second down and goal. Stop made by Damon Harrison. Harrison's had a nice year. He's played through some injuries, his ankle, his elbow, most recently a finger injury.
Snacks, as they call him. He's getting a little bit of a read right here because he's way off the ball, so that's a cutoff block. Harrison reads it nicely, and he moves really well, Tom, down the line of scrimmage. Last week against the Cowboys, he made a couple tackles on a screen and checkdowns. For 340 pounds, he's helping your linebackers make tackles at mid-level range. It's well done. Versatile.
Aguilar checks back into the game for Philadelphia. Second down. All day to throw. And in the back of the end zone, that is Alshon Jeffrey, and that is a Philadelphia touchdown. So on his first drive as a starter, Foles marches a team down the field. He goes 4 for 4 on the drive and a point away from a 1-point lead.
Well, he gets a tremendous protection because they're only rushing 3, right? Then you watch Jeffries run to the post. Now watch him work back. Foles throws it only where his guy can get it. He's on time and on target in rhythm, and you can see why this guy has won 20 ball games as a starter at this level. And that's only going to grow the confidence of his teammates, both offensively and defensively.
Of course, on every scoring play, they will look to see if the call stands. Did he get both feet down inbounds?
And that's close on that right foot when he made the turn and pivot. He's right on it.
If you go out of bounds, you can't be the first player to touch the ball. So in other words, if you step out of bounds and you come back inbounds, you can't be the first person to touch it. Dean Blandino is with us from Los Angeles. Dean, how do you see this, what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think the issue here is going to be, did the receiver step out right there with his right foot before reestablishing inbounds and catching the pass? I haven't seen an angle yet that shows the foot clearly out of bounds. Looks like he's on his toes. The toes are in bounds. He does get both feet inbounds after completing the catch. And to me, the call on the field should stand here.
Yeah, it looks like his heel was off the ground. You're right, Dean. I think on the pivot, his right foot. That's a great ball. Good catch, good hands catch by Alshon.
We thank Dean Blandino back in Los Angeles. He'll be with us throughout the entire telecast as part of our NFL on Fox team from the Meadowlands here in New Jersey.
How about that start of Nick Foles, huh? 4 for 4, just in command, making decisions, moving along the pocket.
After reviewing the play, the rule on the field stands. Touchdown.
That's now 7 receiving touchdowns in the last 6 games for Alshon Jeffrey. The 2 guys in the red zone on this team have been Jeffrey and Ertz.
It's been a nice pickup from the Bears.
So now the point after by Elliott. And it's right down the middle. So, Nick Foles. A lot of people in Philadelphia wondering how would he come out here today. So far, real good.
Monica, it is absolute chaos out here. Gale force winds, accumulations up to 8 inches. Don't know if you can even hear me.
What's he doing?
Can we get a shot of this cold front right here? Winter has arrived. Woo!
Progress is an unstoppable force. Brace yourself for the Season of Audi sales event. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Season of Audi sales event.
On my way to something more. You're that one I can't ignore. Is never a waste of time.
I touch the rain. I look at the sun, and it says run.
The light shivers offshore through the tides of oceans. We are shining in
The water, the earth, the sun, and me. J'adore. We are gold. J'adore. Enjoy the new fragrance, Dior.
At Macy's.
Introducing the all-new delivery pouch from Pizza Hut. Thanks to 3 layers of thermal insulation, your pizza arrives oven hot. It's like having our oven right in your kitchen. Well, pretty close. Try it with the best pizza delivery deal. Large 2 topping, just $7.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Yours is a generous king.
Dilly dilly, your majesty. Super Bowl tickets for life?
I'm gonna need that case back. Get it, get it.
Enter for your chance to win 4 Super Bowl tickets for life.
it's a battle. To be able to call somebody out and say, I want your spot.
We're looking for the new star.
Let's go.
The Four, Battle for Starter, premieres January 4th on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, brewed to be enjoyed responsibly.
Brooklyn Bridge, that's where Peter Schrager goes back and forth every day, making his way into the NFL Network.
King of New York.
He is.
Schrags.
He actually had someone down in the field when we were here 2 weeks ago for the New York Jets that tied his shoe.
Yeah.
For Peter Schrager on the field.
He's got people. He's got people everywhere.
And that's when you know you officially arrived.
Yes.
When others are tying your shoe and you're over 5 years old. A bouncing ball to Khalif Raymond. Well, it's been an ugly year on multiple fronts for the Giants. They've allowed nearly 400 yards a game, worst in the NFL. All the offensive linemen, the combinations in and out. 18 players hurt on injured reserve, second most in the league, second only to the 49ers. And, of course, it really came to a head ultimately when Ben McAdoo, their head coach, made the decision to sit down Eli Manning. It wasn't so much, I think, that they made a change. It was how they made the change. And a week later, of course, McAdoo and Jerry Reese were out of a job. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Tom. We go to Carolina on the Panthers' first possession of the game. Cam Newton finds Christian McCaffrey for this 7-yard touchdown. Panthers up 7-0, but the Packers driving right now. Tom, Chris, and Peter.
All right, Chris, in that NFC South, man, there's a lot going on with Carolina, New Orleans, Atlanta, all trying to get into the playoffs.
118,
Eli looking around and throws short as he takes a hit from Vinny Curry.
Just a little poor decision there by Eli. He had Darko out in the flat right away and hesitated just a tad to get knocked off balance to come up short on the pass. Usually he'll make that read a little bit quicker.
So they'll go into a sugar huddle, as they call it. Wide receivers already spread out, and then the linemen just gather quickly with Manning on this 3rd down and 5. There's that slant pattern, and that's been very successful to start this game. That's a completion to the rookie Ingram that'll move the chain.
Well, that's where they're going to attack. He has a lot of confidence in the young rookie, even though he has, according to one organization, the most drops by a tight end. He's getting better and more confident, and I think he knows that Eli trusts him. That's his guy. That's who he goes to right now.
With these quarterbacks razor sharp in this opening quarter. Manning 8 of 11. That's Darkwa. And not much there in the running game so far outside of the short touchdown run by Darkwa on the first Giants possession. Fletcher Cox, 2-time Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
So we talked about, we're raving right now about Ingram as a pass catcher, right? Not so much as a blocker. Take a look here. He's going to throw a no-hitter on Fletcher Cox. Watch this. He almost didn't want to have anything to do with that. His job is to knock him off. That's called a wham block. You have to seal him. He didn't seal him.
And then a drop by Shepard. Drops have been a major issue for the Giants as well this year. That's a 23rd drop pass of the year, 4th most in the league.
Yeah, had a big drop last week against the Cowboys, and you got to make that catch. It almost looked like from that angle his eyes were closed.
3rd down and 9, and down the middle of the field again. It is his main man, as Chris called him a moment ago. Evan Ingram to the 32 and a New York first down.
When you have a 2-safety deep look right here, you have to carry this all the way down. You have to carry. Jenkins has to carry the tight end back to the safeties because that's a vulnerable area in between the safeties.
Short pickup. Shane Vereen, first time we've called his name today.
Right here, it's a good hands catch, and eyes follow the ball to the hands. Excellent job. Reminds me how I used to get my kids to get their hands up. Started throwing baseballs at their face. Start off with Nerf balls. You start throwing baseballs at their face.
Girls.
Yeah, you throw baseballs at their face. I'm telling you, their hands go up really quick. They don't body catch anymore.
Great day. 2:45 to go in the quarter. And that is another first down. And again, that is Roger Lewis. Well, what a nice pickup he's been. Second-year receiver, didn't play much at all last year. And now 30 catches for Lewis this year out of Bowling Green.
I'll tell you, the offensive line and Bobby Hart's playing right tackle, normally a guard. They've been solid up front, giving Eli a nice pocket to survey the field. And when he has time, he can still throw darts.
And it to Gallman, and the rookie out of Clemson slips inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. He's a good-looking young player here. They found him in the 4th round for the national champion Tigers of a year ago.
I really liked him at Clemson. He's a two-way threat, good hands, good route runner. Not very big, but I'll tell you what, he runs big. He's tough, and he breaks tackles.
Got him. Lofted to the end zone. And that is a touchdown for Tavares King.
And you have to play discipline and technique. If you're responsible for the deep half of the field back here, you don't jump. You don't guess. That's just a complete setup and an outstanding route by King to sell that. Eli throws it where his guy can get it. Easy pitch and catch. Setting the young guy up, Jalen Mills. Got nosy. Took advantage.
Now 49 career touchdown passes for Manning against Philadelphia. That ties him for the most of any opponent. He's also thrown 49 against the Cowboys. And a lot of Giants fans, as the point after is good, are wondering right now, where has this offense been all year long?
Guess what I just got?
Hello, Gary. That's a big phone.
You built a flame that warms my heart, but your lying and cheating has torn us apart.
Get up to $400 toward a Galaxy Note 8 or S8 with qualifying trade-in. Only on Samsung.com.
I'm Mark, and I quit smoking with Chantix. I tried cold turkey. I tried the patches. I was tired and I was fed up. I wanted to try something different.
Along with support, Chantix Varenicline is proven to help people quit smoking.
Chantix reduced my urge to smoke.
Compared to the nicotine patch, Chantix helps significantly more people quit smoking. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Some people had changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, or suicidal thoughts or actions with Chantix. Serious side effects may include seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or allergic and skin reactions, which can be life-threatening. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have any of these. Tell your healthcare provider if you've had depression or other mental health problems. Decrease alcohol use while taking Chantix. Use caution when driving or operating machinery. The most common side effect is nausea.
I'm finally free of smoking.
Ask your doctor if Chantix is right for you. Many insurance plans cover Chantix for a low or $0 copay.
I got this.
I got this. No, I got it. Is that Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Stewart?
Yeah, I got this. Ooh, too slow, rookie. You want to spread a little joy?
Thanks.
We've got an easy way to do it. Now you can tap to pay with Visa at Starbucks this holiday season.
Introducing the new Bacon King Jr. Stacked with a quarter-pound of flame-grilled beef, melted cheese, and topped with crispy bacon. It packs the big taste of Bacon King in a smaller package. The Bacon King Jr., now part of the Bacon King family, only at Burger King.
The 2017 Holiday Bowl, next Thursday on FS1.
Today's game is sponsored by Samsung. And by Burger King. Big taste, smaller package. The Bacon King Jr. is available now at Burger King restaurants.
Some emotions over there on that Philadelphia sideline. That's Patrick Robinson.
Well, you got to keep your composure, and I get it. You can get upset and things happen on those sidelines, but the most important thing is that play in that series is gone forever. What's your adjustment? Stop getting beat on double moves. That's two slant and goes that secondary's been burned by. And one cost him a touchdown, and the other was a big gainer.
All right, so now Nick Foles will try and answer. You know, it's really incredible to start 2 careers of Wentz and Foles. Their first 29 starts. Look at Wentz, 18-11, 17-12 with Foles, then with Philadelphia. Passing yards, nearly identical. Touchdowns to interceptions, virtually identical. And a slightly higher passer rating. I mean, for all intents and purposes, when Foles took the Eagles to the playoffs back in 2013, it was his second year in the league, but it was his first year playing.
Well, he's very comfortable in this offense. A lot of Chip Kelly's offense is still part of this offense, that RPO, that run-pass option, and Nick certainly had his best year in a similar offense.
Into the hands of Aguilar, shaken up earlier, and now gain of close to 10 on first down. Peter?
And guys, Nick Foles is not just a typical backup quarterback. He's a player who was a free agent this offseason. And I can tell you, knowing from sources that the Buccaneers talked to him, the Colts talked to him, the Chiefs talked to him. The Eagles did not offer him the most money. He wanted to go back to Philadelphia and finish what he started.
Well, he's got a chance this year to put himself in the all-time history and minds of Philadelphia Eagles hardcore fans. Big run by Barner. And he's across midfield to the 49, actually just short of midfield. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
All right, Minnesota trying to keep the heat on the Eagles for best record in the conference. Well, they're doing it right now. Eric Kendricks picks off Andy Dalton, goes all the way back 31 yards for the pick 6, and they're up 14-0 still in the first quarter. Tom, Chris, and Peter.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. This is Barner hitting some carries here today. Those have been few and far between. You know, Barner originally broke in with the Eagles. They let him go. He wound up in training camp in the preseason with the Chargers, and then they brought him back after they let him go in week 4.
I'll tell you, running backs take such a beating. If you have one that knows your system and that you trust, you keep them on your short list. I like the fact they're going up tempo now, giving the Giants a little dose of their own medicine.
And Foles is hit from behind. The ball is loose, and Barner tried to pick it up initially, couldn't find the handle, and falls on top of it. That was Olivier Vernon, who hit Foles from behind and knocked it loose.
Yeah, speed, anticipation, double move. Vernon with a little shake. And I love the club. You got to get a break into the Giants. Something extra go your way. Keep playing hard.
No.
When you carry out, some things are out of your control. But with Domino's new carry-out insurance, we'll replace your pizza if it gets ruined after you leave the store. Carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 every day.
Angela Bassett, Peter Krause, and Connie Britton star in 911 January 3rd.
Merry Christmas.
Why are there so many miles on it?
What?
For great offers, visit your local Jaguar retailer during the Unwrap a Jaguar sales event.
$1.99 hot chocolate at Dunkin'? That's like a big, yummy hug. So hug it up. Hug more. Hug large. Hug medium? Hug that. Live the hug life with $1.99 medium or larger hot chocolate. America runs on Dunkin'.
Dinner with friends, gotta bring some food. Not a great cook, but don't wanna be rude.
Holiday lights are the perfect touch. May have done just a bit too much.
Get on the holiday road in a Honda Civic. See your dealer for great holiday deals during the Happy Honda Days sales event.
Spread some cheer with a dozen Dunkin' Donuts for $6.99. 12 tasty treats with holiday flavors sprinkled in. Grab a dozen holiday donuts or any classic donuts for $6.99 and make some merry out there. The holidays run on Dunkin'.
Giants and the Eagles off to a good start here. 1 quarter in the books. And the G-Men in front 13-7. will be the first third down of the game offensively for the Eagles offense.
Let's see if they help Vaitai up here at the top, who gave up the sack to Vernon on that last play. Let's see if they give him help.
Third best third down offense in the NFL, the Eagles, but that's with Carson Wentz. And that's thrown into double coverage, and Foles is very lucky that was not intercepted by Cockrell.
Cockrell has a great break on the ball. I actually think he can get a pick six off of this. Watch how quick his break is. He's never out of his back pedal. He's never off balance, so he's able to change directions. And a good job of keeping that right arm away from Alshon Jeffrey and coming across with the left arm. And they did help on Vernon and Vaitai, which keeps an extra wide receiver in. That's one less target for Foles to go after.
First punt for either team. Eagles had a punt block last week that turned into a touchdown against the Rams. Donnie Jones drops it inside the 5, but bounces in and through the end zone. Of course, college football bowl season well underway. On Wednesday, the Foster Farms Bowl. Arizona taking on the Purdue Boilermakers on Fox. And Thursday, the Holiday Bowl. It's always a wild one. Washington State taking on Michigan State and Mark D'Antonio's Spartans.
So we got to bear down and boiler up.
Better believe it.
You got it.
Part of the Big Ten.
Jeff Brom did a great job at Purdue this year.
The first-year coach up there, they're very excited where that program is moving, and D'Antonio's put together a great run at Michigan State.
B3, that's high. 118, that's it.
Eli Manning, third possession of the game. Couple of touchdowns already. And that one is thrown low, incomplete, being chased by Fletcher Cox. There is a flag down in the secondary about 15 yards down the field. This is against Philadelphia.
No, they're going to get them for holding.
This Philadelphia defense has not showed up so far today.
Defense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
So when you get beat a couple times, you start getting a little nervous and you lose your trust in your technique and trust in your training. So you start holding on and grabbing because you don't want it to happen again. And right there, he is grabbing and pulling Sterling Shepard. Now that's a little ticky-tacky, but we couldn't see his right hand, and he did have a handful of jersey. That's just because you've been beat. Settle down, get back into your rhythm, and play the game.
Yeah, the Rams have one of the better offenses in all the NFL. But this Philadelphia defense had been one of the better defenses in the league this season. Rams scored on their first two possessions after halftime when the Eagles had a 10-point lead. They had the touchdown on the block punt. Now they came up with a huge play made by Chris Long on the strip. And they wound up with a couple of field goals to win it and a late return for a touchdown. But Jim Schwartz's unit had been beat up a little bit.
Yeah, they haven't tackled well. Missed a lot of tackles, especially in the back end. Last week was a problem.
Bowman on the screen across the 30. It's good yardage to pick up on second down. It brings up third down, and we'll call it 3.
Great effort by Tim Jernigan. I'll tell you, when you get defensive linemen, Tom, that can chase down screens from behind, a lot of times they can create fumbles or big plays because the receiver doesn't know that they're coming. Here comes Jernigan running down. I love the fact that he tried to strip the ball. Good effort.
Giants are perfect so far on third down today, 4 of 4. And now make it 5 out of 5.
Yep.
Shepard across midfield, still on his feet. And down the sideline goes Sterling Shepard, a third Giants touchdown.
I tell you, they got away with one because they're going to get a little bit what some people would deem an offensive interference in Rhett Ellison. They did not call it. Watch number 85 will come from this angle. He's going to pick off Shepard's guy. 85, Rhett Ellison will come into your screen. Right. We'll see it on the next angle right here. See, right there. See that? Now that could be called offensive interference. They're in man coverage. You lose sight of it. Poor tackling in the secondary once again. And the Giants take the lead. Good job by Rhett Ellison of running his route. The defender ran into him, clearing the way for Sterling Shepard, and all of a sudden he's dancing in the blue end zone.
That is a 67-yard touchdown. Shepard had a 77-yarder earlier this year against Philly. And they'll still play for a single point after rather than trying to make up for one that was blocked on their first touchdown. But this is a Giants offense that is averaging 15 points per game. We have played 15, now 16 minutes. They have 20.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has Bliss with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. One less thing to spoil the weekend. No, it can't make the fish bite, but maybe they'll work on that. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
This holiday season, experience an adventure of epic proportions.
Oh my God.
Downsizing is the visionary masterpiece. It's the best film of the year.
That is wild. Just wild.
Downsizing. Rated R.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 pieces of delicious original recipe chicken, 4 fluffy biscuits, 2 mashed potatoes and gravy, 1 large coleslaw. It's finger licking good.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like wet grocery bags, getting a bad haircut, overcrowded trains, turnstiles that don't turn, and spilling coffee on themselves. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV and for a limited time get a $100 reward card. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. Ever Us. 1 diamond for your best friend, 1 for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us. Available at Kay, Jared, and Zales.
Today's game is sponsored by the 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the New York Giants. Entering today, the most points that Philadelphia had allowed in a first half of a game was 14.
Now, when you lose your starting quarterback, not only the backup has to take a role, Tom, everybody has to pick their game up, including the defense.
Lemon still on his feet up to the 27-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown a moment ago to Shepard.
See, I think they got away with one right here with an OPI. You're going to see Rhett Ellison is going to come across the screen. And right here's Rhett. Now, right here, it's possible that Malcolm Jenkins bumped him into the defenders. That's maybe why they didn't call the OPI. That's pretty darn close. The fact is, they didn't call it. The Giants took advantage of it. Poor tackling in the secondary, and Shepard has the touchdown. You got to tackle. You can't get lazy in your techniques. Bring them down.
All right, so now unfamiliar turf for this 11-2 Philadelphia Eagles team. And they hand it off to Ajayi. He spins out of 1 tackle, but is buried on another. First man there was a rookie, Dalvin Tomlinson. Second-round pick out of Alabama.
You know, we talk about, and Spags is telling us Giant pride. That's everywhere, right? This defense gives up 130 yards on the ground. Now they're starting to play. They have a lead. They don't know how to play with a lead. They're excited, and they're flying around the football like they're excited to be out there. They look like they're the ones fighting for the home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the first-round bye.
And at this time to LeGarrette Blount, his first carry of the afternoon, and he's up across the 30-yard line. Checked in with Peter Schrager.
Guys, if you're looking for a Giants team to just lay down, that's not the team here. And Steve Spagnuolo told us 3 games left, but they still changed up the practice schedule. Every other practice since Coughlin's last season and McAtoo's first 2, they would go lightly on Fridays, go through it on Saturdays. Friday, first time in 2.5 years, they had a full practice, and it's showing today. Changing it up. They're not done yet this season.
They're down in 6. They're coming after Foles. He gets rid of it, but incomplete to Ertz. So now back-to-back possessions. The Eagles, after scoring on their first chance of the game, will have to punt it away.
It's a missed opportunity. Ertz actually had a lead blocker out in front of him. He would have got the first down if he catches the football. They had a first down, and that was a play designed where he was the only guy that was getting the ball because the receiver started his blocking right before the ball arrived. A missed opportunity by the Eagles to keep the chains moving.
Leaf Raymond stands back at his own 20-yard line, waiting for the Donnie Jones punt. It's a short one, but it's going to bounce and take a favorable Eagles roll to the 23. Well, mostly long faces all year long for the Giants, but a lot of smiles so far today.
Dependability, honesty, integrity, just like in the military, at the Air Force Academy, and certainly from my family, my grandfather. Those are the things that I feel like I'm always getting when I'm dealing with USAA. You can always depend that you're going to be able to get someone on the phone. Those people are going to be friendly, and they're going to be able to help you with whatever you need done. You never feel like you're just a number. You always feel like an individual when you're dealing with USAA. I'm Joe Lombardi, and I'm a USAA member for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
The Ford year-end sales event is in full swing.
You are going to be a big surprise. I see a big puppy. I see a big puppy. Hey, Greg.
That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now get exclusive holiday offers with 0% financing for 72 months across a full lineup. For a limited time, get an additional $1,000 cash back on top of 0% financing for 72 months. Get these exclusive offers during the Ford year-end sales event.
Let's get the one with the candy cane.
Well, the wrapping paper doesn't make the holidays. It's what's inside that counts.
It's the phone for Mom.
Okay, well, it's also what's inside the phone that counts, too.
Circuits?
No, the network.
So the network is inside the phone?
Well, no, the network's around the phone. Verizon is the most rewarded network ever. That's why more people count on it. There you go.
A gift is only as good as the network it's on. So give any Google Pixel 2 and get $300 off with no trade-in required.
The odds are staggering. It's suicide. The plan is daring.
Wait on your command.
Initiate. Rolling Stone Rave's Darkest Hour is one of the best pictures of the year.
We shall never surrender.
Rated PG-13.
At Kohl's, give joy, get joy. Give joy with 25% off Nike and get joy with Kohl's Cash for You. Take 25% off select Nike hoodies, shoes, and more for the whole family. Nike presents for them, Kohl's Cash for You. Give joy, get joy with Nike at Kohl's.
Week 15 continues later today on CBS. Then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN.
From the co-creator of Modern Family, LA to Vegas, January 2nd on Fox.
Well, apparently the recipe for Giants success offensively comes at the expense of Philadelphia. We told you that Week 3 game, there were 37 points combined by the two teams in the fourth quarter. And the Giants have carried that right into the opening quarter and here in the second quarter today. They hand it to Ingram. And the rookie tight end picks up 14, run out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
One of the things that Jim Schwartz has to get settled with his defense is stop the run first. They're becoming a team where they're doing what they want to do as far as run pass, so you have everybody guessing. And Brandon Graham has to keep contained. If you're the end guy in the line of scrimmage, nothing gets outside of you. Good job filling there. Kendricks.
Kendricks started with the Eagles since day one when they took him in the second round in 2012. In that wild game back in Week 3, Kendricks tipped an Eli Manning pass and wound up being returned for a touchdown by Robinson. And here's Manning cutting it loose down the sideline. Incomplete, third down upcoming.
Nice job by Jalen Mills. That goes to show you and prove why you have to have a short memory when you play corner. His technique is outstanding. He's going to stay in position. He's not going to panic. He's not going to grab. He runs the route. And that's a poor read by Eli Manning. That's the one where you want to throw short and behind. Anytime the defender is up top of your receiver, that's when you throw the fade back or the back shoulder fade to your receiver and let him adjust on the football.
That's Aaron Rodgers, 101.
Got it.
Giants trying to keep this drive alive. They scored on their first 3 possessions. And this one will stall on a big hit delivered by the hard-hitting safety Rodney McLeod.
I love the patience of McLeod right here. No, excuse me, McLeod will come into your picture, not jumping anything, and just a great break on the football. The pass knocked Gallman off balance a little bit. McLeod finished him off, forcing a punt.
First punt of the day for Brad Wing. Philadelphia came after that, just missed Gitman. And the fair catch at the 24. Some of the great faces in the history of the Eagles, including the Minister of Defense, the late, great Reggie White.
In your life, you're the quarterback, and your truck is your offensive line. Better make it the new 2018 Ford F-150. So powerful it moves the things you need moved. So smart it can detect the things you can't detect. And so tough it never, ever throws in the towel. Hut, hut, gunslinger. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar. And it's proud to bring you the Built Ford Tough Offensive Line of the Week on NFL.com.
This is not a cloud. This is a tomato tracked from farm to table on a blockchain, helping keep shoppers safe. This is a financial transaction secure from hacks and threats others can't see. This is a skyscraper whose elevators use IoT data and AI to help thousands get to work safely and efficiently. This is not the cloud you know. This is the IBM Cloud. The IBM Cloud is the cloud for business. Yours.
We've come a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
For all that you are, the Forever Mark Tribute Collection. Forever Mark. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced.
What we're going to have you do is each have a bite of 2 different burgers. One is flame grilled, the other one is fried on the flat top.
Definitely flame grilled.
Yeah. So much better. What you're saying is that we should destroy this flat top.
Flat top is my enemy.
Get 2 flame grilled Whopper sandwiches for just $6, only at Burger King.
I'm a huge Christmas Story fan.
Rehearsals are now in progress for A Christmas Story Live.
Break a leg, everyone.
Don't be nervous.
Is it possible to have 2 panic attacks at the same time?
A Christmas Story Live tonight on Fox.
The X-Files, January 3rd on Fox. Today's game is sponsored by IBM. You to the power of IBM. And by Forever Mark Diamonds. Beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. Discover the new Forever Mark Tribute Collection.
Let's go! Central Park over the holidays. Wish everybody a happy Hanukkah and early Merry Christmas.
I was over there dropping my combination South Cal triple axle on him.
You were.
Excellent.
First down, Nick Foles steps up and missed a wide open Nelson Aguilar. That would have been a big-time gain right there.
The Giants are doing a nice job, and the RPO is such a big part of this Eagle offense. And the whole idea is to get everybody sucked up inside, but it's a good push by Snacks Harrison. Now we're going empty here, but when you go empty, it tells these guys to get your pass rush on. And Nick Foles does a good job of stepping up into the pocket and just a little high and off target. But the Giants so far have done a good job of recognizing run and pass, the play run and play pass, especially up front.
Leonard, good, powerful running, and that's a first down. That'll be a gain of 11. This guy was the only undrafted rookie to make this Eagles team this year. He grew up in Glassboro, New Jersey. In fact, he still holds a New Jersey high school single-season rushing record. 479 yards in one high school game.
And he had a lot of success up there in Wisconsin for the Badgers. That Paul Christ offense. It's a lot of downhill running.
Fake it to Ajayi, and now Foles running around being chased by Pierre-Paul. And let's see if they call that a completion. No, they don't. Smith is out of bounds. A little more hair on that, and that's a nice play.
Well, here's the difference between Wentz and Foles. You're going to see Aguilar right here get in between the safeties and linebackers. Foles doesn't see him. Watch Aguilar right there. That ball should be delivered. He has all of that space right over the linebackers under the safeties. Nick Foles came off of him a little bit too quick. Right there is a subtle difference between Wentz being your quarterback and Foles being your quarterback. I think Foles will start to see that. But remember, he hasn't played a lot this year.
And now a challenge flag is being thrown by Doug Peterson on a completion. It was ruled an incomplete pass on the sideline.
Philadelphia is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. We will review the play.
So they're going to take a look at it. All right, let's take a look at what we have to bring it to you here at home.
See, I think his knee's out of bounds right there. So one part of that body's down, out of bounds. He's out of bounds. It's a nice effort by Torrey Smith. See if we can see it from this angle. I think he's out of bounds. I think his wrist, possibly his knee. Good effort of Torrey Smith working back to help his quarterback that was in duress, giving him an open target to throw to.
And the ruling on the field is an incompletion. Dean Blandino back in Los Angeles. You've seen everything we have so far. You think this call stands, a one on the field? Dean, how do you see this? Any differently than Chris did?
No, I agree with Chris. I think the issue, I do believe the left knee is down in bounds, but I feel like when he gains control of the football, the elbow is touching the white and that the pass is incomplete. I think it was a good call on the field, and the call should stand.
I think we're right on it, Dean.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Philadelphia will be charged a timeout and loses their first challenge.
All right, Dean Blandino. You and Mr. Spielman today 2 for 2. That is a dramatic improvement
yeah.
from what we've seen most of this year.
I'm out of my slump.
Well, there's still 9:40 to go in the second quarter.
Plenty of time to get back in it.
So Philadelphia has one challenge remaining. And it's second down and 10. They fake the run. And Foles throws off balance, but finds a wide open Zach Ertz close to midfield, and that'll be a Philadelphia first down. Ertz out last week in concussion protocol.
Here's that RPO, the good play action, sucks everybody up. Why? Because you should be, because these offensive linemen aren't coming or firing out. None of these guys should be up here. They all should be back here. And when you get sucked up like that, that leaves the middle of the field open, and a great throw by Foles with somebody in his face named Olivier Vernon. But the tackles are standing up. There's no reason for linebackers to rush the line of scrimmage.
Foles hit 5 of his first 5. He had missed on his next 4 before that completion, and just not much running room there for Jay Ajayi. So the overall numbers so far for Nick Foles, and this is his first start after the injury to Carson Wentz in the fourth quarter last week at the Coliseum in L.A. 6 out of 10. Great opening drive, went right down the field, scored a touchdown, then punted on the next 2, and this is their 4th possession.
Yeah, I think he's getting in rhythm, and he's feeling it a little bit. Just that middle of the field is going to be open on an RPO. He had Ertz and he had Aguilar earlier, just held the ball a little too long.
With a delay to Ajayi, and he cuts it back to the inside, spun down at the 45. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. And we send it to Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Tom. We go to New Orleans. Saints up 10-7 in the second when Drew Brees finds a familiar target. Alvin Kamara for a 10-yard score. Saints lead this one 17-7. Tom, Chris, and Peter.
Thank you very much. Of course, the Saints trying to close in on a divisional championship. But there's a lot of work in that NFC South. Billy 0 for 2 so far today on third down. Clement in the backfield. They're going to throw it to him. And takes a big hit from the maligned Eli Apple, shaken up on the play. Apple has missed the last 4 games, now with various injuries.
They tried their own little pick play. The problem was the Giants were playing zone. Eli didn't jump inside, waited for that ball to be delivered outside, and a good break on the football and a good open field tackle by Eli Apple.
Of course, Apple been in the news all year long and not much of it good. He got benched back in week 5 against San Diego, yelling allegedly at an assistant coach. Was criticized after a game against San Francisco, and then he tweeted out, you know, congratulations to his former teammate at Ohio State, Rod Smith, for his touchdown run against the New York Giants last Sunday. But Apple is up and available and made a nice play right there.
Yeah, I think he needs that for his confidence and for the team to get confidence in him. And I believe there's an NFL rule that 90 minutes before kickoff, no social media by any players, whether they're active or inactive. You know, it's a violation. He just has to refocus himself because he does have talent, and corners are such a hard position to find. He can help himself by helping his team by getting it going.
All right, the Eagles are going to go for it. They are 12 for 12, perfect this year on 4th down and a yard, and it's 4th down and a yard.
Watch the hard count, too, if you're the Giants.
They'll turn around and hand it off. And I don't think LeGarrette Blount got there. That would be the first time in 13 tries that he does not get there. 13, an unlucky number. The Giants defense stands tall.
Alexa, tell Ghost to call for backup.
Call sent.
We're here, buddy. Did your wife call us again?
Hey, guys. I'm losing.
Alexa, ask Ghost what mission I should play next.
We've got a Nightfall strike waiting for us.
Awesome.
Oh, you called in sick?
Yeah.
At T-Mobile, when you holiday together, great things come in twos. Like T-Mobile and Netflix. Right now, when you get an unlimited family plan, Netflix is included.
Wow.
T-Mobile covers your Netflix subscription, so you can catch the hottest new movies and shows all year long on us.
Amazing.
And it's your last chance to buy any of these hot new Samsung Galaxy phones and get a second one free. That's one Samsung for you and one to gift, just in time to finish off your list. T-Mobile, holiday together.
Hey, man. Oh, nice man cave.
Nacho?
What? Stop it.
Mm-hmm. We've been saving a lot of money ever since we switched to Progressive.
This bar is legit.
And now we get an even bigger discount from bundling home and auto.
I can get used to this.
It might take a minute.
Swing and a miss. Slam dunk. Touchdown. Sports.
This Wednesday, experience the only movie to be nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Song. This is just the beginning. The Greatest Showman, rated PG.
With new styles and great fits, Wrangler jeans are ready for anything. The only question is, are you? Wrangler, new styles, great fits.
You cannot wear a Raiders jersey to my family's Christmas dinner. Just turn the lights off.
Great penetration by Bromley right here. He's going to knock him back into Blount, which causes Blount to stop his feet. Then Adams, number 33, who's untouched off the corner, is able to get the big 4th down stop. Great team defense by the Giants.
Now the Giants take over from their own 45-yard line. Nothing doing for Darkwa on first down. 20-7. Certainly a surprise based on the fact the Giants have won 2. The Eagles have only lost 2. And divisional game or not, new quarterback or not, you didn't expect this count where we are right now.
When you have a new quarterback, everybody has to step up, and that includes the Eagles defense, who've not played their best, obviously, this first half.
Dangerous throw there by Eli Manning. And I mean to tell you, Darkwa took a shot from Nigel Bradham.
Well, Fletcher Cox is just a man inside. Watch this. This is an old Reggie White move where he'll get a guy on his hip and throw him. Look at this right there. See him throw right there? That forced Eli to get the ball out quicker than he wanted to. But Fletcher Cox one-on-one, he's a man, and he's very difficult to stop in one-on-one situations.
And that's Jalapeno now at right guard, or at least it was on that play a moment ago. Bobby Hart got the start over there. And now Manning on third down. Great protection and throws a pick right into the arms of Ronald Darby. And Darby still on his feet, spinning, running, still down the sideline, and finally dragged down at the 20-yard line.
Something about technique, right? Darby never gets out of his back pedal or never gets pressed. He actually has a better break on the ball than does Roger Lewis. He's going to run a route for Roger Lewis, breaks in front of him, and tremendous effort of getting the ball down the field, becoming a running back. We just talked about it. If you're struggling, if you're dead, if things aren't happening, somebody needs to step up and make a play for the playoff-bound Eagles. Darby does. Huge interception, creating field position for this Eagle offense.
Well, Eli has thrown more touchdowns in his career against Philadelphia than any other team. He's also thrown more interceptions against Philadelphia than any other team. And now Foles looking for 6, and he nearly turned it right back over. Let's go back to Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Tom. We go to Minnesota, so the Vikings still in play for that #1 seed. Giants helping them out here. How about this? Case Keenum finds Stephon Diggs for a 20-yard touchdown. Vikings lead this one 24-0. Tom?
There's Mike Zimmer, an old defensive coordinator under Marvin Lewis, and the big story there, the fact that Lewis apparently on his way out after 15 years.
Do Bengals not know that he didn't leave yet? You can still play. He didn't leave yet. He's still coaching.
Second down, and they hand it off to Clement. And he's inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line, and brings up a third down. So we talked about the Eagles and how impressive Foles was on the opening drive. 7 plays, 75 yards, a touchdown. And they've struggled. And now trying to take advantage of the interception thrown by Manning.
Zach Ertz obviously a target in this area. Trey Burton's a guy that should be in the ball game. He plays well and was dangerous in this red area last week.
Foles lays it off for Ajayi, and he's very close to a first down. We'll see where they spot it. Yep, right at the 10, first down and goal.
Good job of Nick Foles using his eyes, staring down Ertz, then coming to the outlet to Ajayi. Ertz is going to release. Nick Foles will stare down Ertz down the middle of the field right here. Then he goes right to his outlet. Jay Ajayi runs strong after the catch. He was looking at Ertz very nicely. Then he comes off and hits the outlet. Use your eyes to move safeties and move linebackers. Hit your outlet. Well executed, number 9.
Hit right after he faked the handoff by Kelvin Sheppard.
Spags is getting aggressive right here. You pick up an extra defender and you come with the blitz and you bring in pressure, getting in Foles' face. You don't have to cover because you got that back line of the end zone as an extra defender as your 12th man, forcing a quick throw. Good job of staying off the head of Kelvin Sheppard on Foles.
Second down and goal from right at the 10-yard line. Blitz coming again. And that is a touchdown to Zach Ertz.
It's a nice double move by Zach Ertz. Adams actually is in good position, but he uses his big body. He's going to come here and come back in, and almost like a basketball player off of a shot. As a defender, you're told to box out. He just boxes out Adams, and Foles throws the fastball in there. Good job of taking advantage of the turnover. Points off turnovers.
Ertz, his 8th touchdown reception. And the point after is good, so the interception thrown by Manning into the arms of Darby turns into this, and a 6-point game.
I got this.
Okay, go deep.
You want to keep chasing your dreams. We make sure you never have to stop.
There's no one I'd rather hit the road with.
No one I'd rather have dinner and a movie with.
No one I'd rather lean on.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. Ever Us. One diamond for your best friend, one for your true love. For the one woman in your life who's both. Ever Us. Available at Kay, Jared, and Zales.
This is why I'm hot. 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 I'm hot 'cause I'm fly. This is why I'm hot. 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 I'm hot 'cause I'm fly.
So we talk about somebody stepping up to make a play. Darby does on the defense, setting up the offense in Nick Foles. Nick Foles comes to a nice red zone target into Ertz, who boxes out Adams for 6. And what he's saying without saying this, right now, he's going over to congratulate his DBs. Look, Wentz was the guy, but for now, reality tells us I'm the guy in the near future. Wentz will be the future. I'm the near future. The new future is the here and now.
And the return up to the 23-yard line. Well, it's a Christmas season, and tonight Christmas comes early, the most beloved Christmas movie of all time. That's right. From a network that brought you Grease Live, it's A Christmas Story live. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on Fox.
Some pressure live. That Red Ryder BB gun going. Shooting targets. Put your eye out with that thing, Tom.
Nope. But you had your daughter handling those BB guns very, very young. They didn't know the difference between a zone blitz and a man blitz. They didn't need it night. Speaking of blitzing, off the edge comes Brandon Graham. Oh, what a year he's having. Now it is 8th season out of Michigan. And we check in with Carissa Thompson in L.A.
Thanks, Tom. Conversation all week as Aaron Rodgers returned. Packers down 10-7 when he finds Randall Cobb for this 33-yard touchdown. Rodgers' stat line on the day so far, 10 for 17, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. They lead 14-10. Tom?
With all the receivers in that Green Bay offense without Aaron Rodgers around, Randall Cobb has been completely forgotten. Everybody makes a big deal about Jordy Nelson's been playing longer than Cobb, but I mean, Cobb has just disappeared without Rodgers as a quarterback.
Yeah, he's such a weapon in the slot, and he's also a guy that can run the Wildcat. And I guarantee you nobody's happier than Rodgers' return to Randall Cobb. Nice play on the screen to give him a manageable third down by the Giants.
Trying to get him to jump again.
Brian Ingram, that's been the safety blanket, the go-to guy.
It's a third down, and Manning scrambling around. And well short. These last two Giants possessions have looked like the Giants of 2017.
And the key has been is because these four guys are getting pressured, making it very uncomfortable for Eli Manning into the pocket. They have Ingram covered down the slot. He tried to go to his check down, but because of the pressure from a four-man front by the Eagles, that pocket collapsed, forcing the underthrow.
So the Eagles are going to get the ball with under 3.5 to go, and they got it. They nearly got one the last time, and this time they get it. Chuma Grugier-Hill came up with a block.
They got one block last week, so they're going to go ahead and take their shot, try to get one. And right here, he's going to sneak through this A-gap. Comes around unprotected and on block 27 for the Giants. Misses his block, and Darian Thompson. And that's a free run to the punter. And look at him take it right off the punter's foot, not having the hands above the head. Hands at waist level. Beautiful job. And special teams are now stepping up for the Eagles. Everybody's getting involved.
Chuma Grugier-Hill, the Honolulu native, comes up with a huge play, and now the Eagles trying to jump back in front. They had a 7-6 lead after teams traded touchdowns on their opening possession. And now from the 18-yard line, Foles with time and throws high. And ball just sailed over.
Not surprising they take a shot after a turnover like that. The Giants were in zone coverage, good discipline, and a good decision by Nick Foles to throw that one away because Alshon Jeffrey had 3 Giants around him.
It was the Eagles who had a punt block return for a touchdown at the Coliseum in L.A. last week, and now the Eagles special teams coming up with a big block. Handed off to Ajayi, looking for running room, and just plows forward inside the 15, down close to the 11-yard line.
On the Giants
coming up.
Yeah, on the Giants defense on this big third down, Tom, you got to get pressure. Last time they dropped 8 down here in this area, it didn't work out too well. Now you got to bring pressure. Come after him, make Foles uncomfortable, and trust that your guys can play some type of man.
Well, a third down and 5. They need to get inside the 9-yard line. Almost midway through between the 8 and the 9-yard line. Short throw, wide open in the end zone. And that is Burton, who had a couple of touchdown receptions and indeed warmed by the fire. This Philadelphia Eagles offense, the highest scoring team in the league.
Nothing kills a defense like a lack of communication. I got him, you got him, nobody's got him. Right here between these two guys. Nobody's communicating. Eli Apple, the safety right here, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie are going to jump one guy. You see that? And it's easy pickings for Cromartie. Mental errors will kill a team every single time. Lack of communication, maybe that's why Eli wasn't in there. We don't know.
Point after is good, and the Eagles with 2:20 to play after the block punt by Grugier-Hill turned it into a touchdown. We're back in 30 seconds after this from Wells Fargo.
My favorite holiday meal is roasted lamb,
the matzo ball soup,
dumplings.
My mom makes this really horrible green bean casserole.
Tortilla tamales.
Food is the way we connect
To make holiday meals possible for more families, Wells Fargo is collecting donations at our 5,900 branches.
You put a meal in front of somebody, they're happy.
Eli Manning and the Giants with 2:20 to play until halftime. And all 3 timeouts remaining, trailing 21-20, and looming so large now is that block, point after on the first touchdown of the game. Derek Barnett blocked that point after. And this is Raymond up to the 25-yard line. Look, for Eli Manning, this is the worst season of his career, but even if you go back to 2013, I mean, look at the numbers. They are what they are. 12 games under 500, thrown more interceptions than any quarterback in the league. 6 comebacks in 5 years in the fourth quarter or overtime. I mean, that's fewer than Brian Hoyer and Blake Bortles. And by no means is anybody comparing the careers of those two to Eli Manning. He's thrown for over 50,000 yards. And the bottom line is this offense, and it's not all Eli's fault. They've had all the injuries to the wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. and Brandon Marshall, all the injuries on the offensive line. But it has not been good outside of last year for a number of years. 21-20. We've reached a 2-minute warning.
When you decided to drive drunk, there could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. You could get arrested. But one thing's for sure, you were wrong when you said it was no big deal.
Let's get the big guy in place.
The Ford year-end sales event is here.
I can guide you in. No thanks, Santa. I got this. Hey, it looks a little tight. Perfect fit. Santa needs an F-150.
That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Hurry in for 0% financing for 72 months across a full lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. For a limited time, get an additional $1,000 cash back on top of 0% financing for 72 months. Get these exclusive offers during the Ford year-end sales event.
Larry Fitzgerald, it's a timeout. Why are you here?
I'm getting my kids dinosaur vitamins. Oh, don't worry. Now I can pay really fast with the tap of my Visa.
Whoa.
Love the speed, love the vitamins, but timeout's almost over.
You have places to be? We help you get there faster.
Introducing the all-new delivery pouch from Pizza Hut. Thanks to 3 layers of thermal insulation, your pizza arrives oven hot. It's like having our oven right in your kitchen. Well, pretty close. Try it with the best pizza delivery deal. Large 2-topping, just $7.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
USAA presents this salute to service moment. Each year, more than 150,000 Americans take the oath of enlistment, a promise to honor and defend our nation. Throughout the NFL season, this oath is carried out on the field, where fans can witness this commitment to selfless service. To all those who dared to take this oath, thank you. See how USAA honors and protects our nation's military at salutetoservice.com.
A lot of things going on while we were gone here. The call on the field was an incomplete pass. Why the clock would have stopped, we have no idea. There was 2:11 left when the play was blown dead. One official said it was a catch on the field. He was ultimately overruled by the other officials together. The call on the field is an incomplete pass. Giants head coach, interim head coach Steve Spagnuolo is challenging that call on the field.
They should call it because it's a catch. And that's why it's a clear catch. And I don't know how they got that one. They called that incomplete. His hands underneath between the ground and the football. And he secured the catch. 2 hands.
I just want to ask Dean Blandino very quickly back in Los Angeles. Dean, if they ultimately look at this on replay and they call this a catch, the clock would have continued to run.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It's an incomplete pass. The Giants will charge with a charge timeout, and and lose their first challenge.
All right, well, just in theory, Dean, quick question for you. If that would have been overruled and called a catch, would they have wound the clock down to the 2-minute warning there?
Exactly. If they had ruled that a catch, then they would have wound the clock after the review. There'd be no charge timeout to the Giants. And whether the Giants wanted to run another play or let it go to the 2-minute warning, that would have been up to them.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, ultimately, they say it's no catch. So, Dean, thank you for that. And it is 2nd down and 10 for the Giants. I mean, Philadelphia right now is thinking about trying to find a way to get the ball back. And Eli Manning going to lay it off to Ingram, and the powerfully built #1 pick out of Alabama is up to the 33-yard line. He'll be 2 yards short of a first down, and the clock is at 2:05, and now we'll get down to the 2-minute warning. And I said Alabama. Ingram is out of
Ole Miss.
Mississippi, pardon me.
2 minutes.
So now, after we've already officially had a 2-minute warning, we're going to have a second 2-minute warning. But the bottom line is, Chris, you know, you made the comment about Steve Spagnuolo, and Peter Schrager said the same thing about playing for Giants pride. This is a very proud organization, incredible success by and large year after year, and they're playing like it, at least so far in this first half.
They are, but I love the way Philadelphia has bounced back, getting down. There was no panic when we talked about it. Somebody needs to step up and make a play to help this offense get going. We get the interception by Darby, the pump block, and the Eagles capitalized on both of them. That's what championship teams do. And I think Nick Foles has shown well so far. He's making good decisions. Missed a couple reads here and there. But the more he plays, the better he'll get and the more comfortable he will be. But I love the fact that the Eagles defense stepped up and made a play for their quarterback that doesn't have a lot of reps this year.
Let's go to Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
All right, thanks, Tom. We go to Buffalo. Quick AFC playoff update for you. Bills currently in the 6th seed. Tyrod Taylor decides to take this one in himself. He's got his team up 20-6. Tom?
What Buffalo's a story. Nobody's talking about that team. They had a wild game last weekend in the snow.
And I love the way Tyrod Taylor's responded. You know, he got benched, came back, kept his mouth shut, and has done a great job of keeping them in the hunt.
It's a big 3rd down for the Giants. They started 5 for 5 on 3rd down. They missed on their last 3. They're going to hand it off. And a good call there for Vereen. All the way up to midfield. The clock will continue to run. The Giants have 2 timeouts left.
Boy, Nigel Bradham gets kind of stuck up on a block right here, allowing Vereen to get there. And that's Jerry doing a good job of holding Bradham. He doesn't get called, so it was a good block.
Dump it off to Vereen, and he is wrapped up and dropped at the 44-yard line. No timeout taken by the Giants. 1:30 and counting, and this might be a flag. I mean, Vereen's been around long enough. Even if the other guy started it, and we'll see ultimately who gets his flag. The Giants say it's going to go against Philly, and the officials are talking about it. Jernigan and Vereen, the 2 participants there.
You just got to keep your composure no matter who this is on. And yeah, that's not smart football. I mean, your team is struggling. You're struggling to get points. If that's on Vereen, you have to keep your composure at all times.
He just shoved Bradham.
Bradham comes back at him. Both guys need to keep their composure. Walk away. Take the little shove and get 15 yards for your team. In between plays is not the time to be a tough guy. How about during the play? That's the time to be the tough guy.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, number 53, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic.
I was just starting to say, after we saw those replays, Bradham held on to the ankle of Vereen long after he had already been whistled down. And that's the issue Vereen had with Bradham.
A classic case of Vereen smacks him in the head, right? So it's the second guy getting caught. Just got to hold your composure.
All right, so now the ball has moved inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Plenty of time for the Giants to recapture the lead before the intermission. And Vereen again. And this time it's McLeod who drops him to the 24.
Eagles are playing nice zone here, nothing over the top. willing to concede a field goal. Nothing over the top.
Second down, good protection for Manning into traffic, and it was nearly intercepted by McLeod. Well, it looked like he had Ingram open down there near the goal line, and he missed him.
He had him for a second. This is a nice job of positioning right here, forcing him back into where his safety help is. He had to throw that ball high so Ingram could be his only guy. McLeod almost comes up with a huge pick, but good positioning by all defenders, understanding where your help is and forcing the throw to your help.
Third down and 5. Underbelly right there inside the 15, and sitting down to get it is Shepard. We're under a minute.
Nice job by Shepard. You said it, sitting down, recognizing zone, sitting in the soft spot. Eli delivers.
Here it comes. Fakes it one way, comes back the other, throws, incomplete. That was Lewis down around the 3-yard line. Clock stops, 40 seconds remain. Shepard already over 100 yards. He had that 67-yard touchdown. His best game this year was week 10 against San Francisco at 142 receiving yards. Green is wrapped up by the man he got tangled up with a minute ago, Bradham. And right out of bounds right at the 11-yard line. Clock stops, 36 seconds left and a third down.
Great job by Bradham avoiding the pick right there, Tom, going over the top, conceding the yardage, yet making a sure tackle. It's being smart and avoiding any underneath garbage he might have run into to knock him off. Keep your eyes right now. Ingram, big target in the red zone.
Manning throws. That had no chance. None. Great coverage by Patrick Robinson on Ingram.
He knows, Robinson knows he has a safety sitting here, so he's going to go ahead and play to the outside and play the flag route because he knows where his help is. Again, understanding where your help is allows a defensive back to go ahead and jump routes and put yourself in position to force the overthrow.
Sauce on for the field goal. 28-yard attempt. He's 15 out of 20 so far this year. And that one is good. So Eli gets him down the field. And in the final minute, the Giants take the lead 23-21. Halftime right around the corner. How about it, Kurt Menefee in L.A.?
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we got Sunday afternoon fever as the Ravens, Dolphins, and Bills all try to stay alive in the playoff race. Put on your dancing shoes. The Visa halftime is coming up.
That's right on the Fox Motion Picture lot. And, of course, that was the biggest story in the business world this entire week. Part of the sale that ultimately, one would think, will go through with the Walt Disney Corporation. .27 seconds to go. And this one going to be brought out. And that is Kenyon Barner. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award recognizes NFL players who've made a significant impact on the game and in their communities. This year's nominee from the Eagles is Malcolm Jenkins, and for the Giants, Mark Herzler. This year's winner will be announced at NFL Honors the night before Super Bowl 53. If you'd like to learn more about the other nominees, visit MLB.com/Man of the Year. Eli Manning wears a patch on his jersey. He is a past winner. of the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. And that's a patch. The late, great Walter Payton. Foles takes a knee. Foles throws 3 touchdown passes in the first half. His first start for Carson Wentz, who threw 33 of them, an Eagles franchise record. And the Eagles will get the ball to begin the second half. Eli Manning and the Giants lead 23-21. We look and listen to some fun from Week 14. Sounds from the field brought to you by Walmart.com, now offering free 2-day shipping.
Leaving everything got down that field today. Keep doing it. We keep moving. We keep moving. We keep moving. That's how big-time teams play in this environment. Give me that real quick. There it is. We're just having fun and we working, baby. That's it, baby.
So 23-21 at halftime. The Giants in front, and we mentioned earlier, looming large is still that blocked extra point on the first score of the game by the Giants by Derek Barnett. An interception led to a touchdown. A blocked punt led to a touchdown. And you see the numbers on Eli Manning's Giants team. Averages 15 points per game and 23 of them in the first half. We go right now to Los Angeles for the Visa halftime, which begins right now.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Thanks for joining us here at the Visa Halftime. We'll break down the first half of your game right after we check in with some other scores around the league, including Aaron Rodgers' return against Carolina.
That coach crazy, beating on that man's shoulder pads. Aaron Rodgers, empty backfield, but nobody can do it better than this. Quickest release I've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers finding Devontae Adams on 13-yard post route. It is 7-all. Aaron Rodgers scrambling out of the pocket, looking Randall Cobb all the way across the football field. 2 things happened. Number 1, Rodgers got out of the pocket. He found Randall Cobb for the touchdown, and he landed on his right shoulder, jumped up, 14-10. Packers jumping on top of Carolina. See how I did that? Jumping on top of Kirk Cousins. 2 touchdowns. Passing in the first half. This pass is to Capri Bibbs. It's a screen thing. Reverse, take another reverse, and dump it off. And there it is, 14-12. Washington on top of the scrappy Arizona Cardinals. Bengals, Vikings, Andy Dalton. Back. Firing. Whoops. Hello. Been there, done that way too many times in my career. Eric Kendricks takes it back 31 yards for the touchdown off the interception. 14-0. Vikings on top of the Bengals, and then the post route. Great timing by Case Keenum. That ball was in the air long before Stephon Diggs made the break, therefore not allowing the safety to get over and make the pick. 24-0. Vikings wanting to have home field advantage throughout the playoff, looking awfully impressive. Jets at the Saints. Breeze back. He's finding Alvin Kamara. Remember, he went out in the first quarter against Atlanta on the Thursday night game. 9 receptions, 125 yards by Mark Ingram and Kamara. 2 backs combining there. 17-10 Saints on top of the Jets. Ravens, Browns. Flacco back looking for his tight end. Coming across. Keep going. Greatest route in football, boys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Crossing route. That's a crossing route. Thanks a lot for helping me out. 17-10. Ravens on top of the Browns. Dolphins at the Bills. Dolphins. Hey, coming off a big win over New England. What's going on here? Wide open, LaShawn McCoy. Running back, 16-yard touchdown. Tyrod Taylor. Good job by him. 21-6. Bills, Dolphins. On top of the Dolphins, that is. Big score.
All right, just moments ago, Carolina took the lead against Green Bay. Cam Newton. Look at how open Greg Olsen is. Bad foot and all, no problem. He gets in the end zone, 30-yard score now. They lead at 17-14. And the games that you are watching, most of you are seeing Philadelphia down a little bit to the Giants, while Jacksonville's 30 minutes away from getting into the playoffs for the first time since 2007. Let's talk about Nick Foles. Howie Long.
Well, Jimmy had the Eagles packing their bags up and closing shop for the year, and the big question was, how would Nick Foles respond? And early on, it looked like Jimmy was right, and Nick Foles hasn't put up a lot of yards, but great in the red zone. Great protection here, works the back of the end zone, finds Jeffries. Then he gets his best target back in Ertz right at the goal line. And here, blown coverage, great route design. Trey Burton third touchdown in 2 weeks, had 2 last week at the Coliseum. So the Eagles showing a little bit of life on offense coming back.
Burton's touchdown was the same route that Carolina just scored on Green Bay with, too. Kind of confuses the DBs, tight ends free.
You know, Jimmy, I mentioned Jacksonville getting ready to celebrate down there going to the playoffs, looks like.
Well, no Leonard Fournette, so Bortles has got to carry it. And Terry bragged about Bortles in the pregame show. The last couple of games, he's played extremely well. And here, he's buying a little bit of time for his receiver. You know, takes it. Great throw down the sideline for the touchdown. He's thrown for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns here in the first half. You know, and A.J. Boye in the pregame show talked about how they wanted some respect at Jacksonville. Listen, they've got the best defense in the entire league. The quarterback's playing well. They've got a great running game. They're an outstanding football team. They've got my respect.
He scoffed when you talked about Bortles, didn't he?
Yeah.
Scoffed.
Tom Coughlin type of team, though. Tough team. And they're not playing down the competition. They're playing at their level. Doesn't matter who they're playing. They're a dangerous team in the playoffs.
You got a bologna-eating head coach?
Yeah.
You're a tough team.
They're Jacksonville kind of guys, both of them. Visa playing the first half. Eli hooking up with Sterling Shepard as the Giants put the pressure on the Eagles. Second half of your game after this.
Brought to you by Visa. You want to spread a little joy? We've got an easy way to do it. Now you can tap to pay with Visa at Starbucks.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Spread their racks on new chain. Rather go and buy Balmains.
It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? You start paying college athletes pretty soon. You want to pay Pee Wee football players?
If Pee Wee football generates $1 billion a year, yeah.
I don't think so.
Dunkin's sweet black pepper bacon sandwich is back with twice the crispy caramelized peppered bacon. Experience a breakfast sandwich made for bacon lovers. America runs on Dunkin'.
My husband and kids are snow tubing and skiing. Later, they'll ride every single water slide. It's just go, 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 go. Me? I'm just getting my tan on. This is my kind of winter.
Aquatopia skiing and tubing are free with your stay.
The Mercedes-Benz winter event is back. And you won't want to stop for anything else. Lease the CLA 250 for $329 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Value. It's a word that seems to have lost its meaning. But for us, it's more than a word. At Spectrum, we believe in giving you more than you expect. For less. Like more on-demand choices, faster download speeds, more Wi-Fi hotspots to connect to, and above all, no contracts, no hidden charges, no surprises. Because that's the way we'd expect to be treated too. Spectrum, redefining what a cable company can be.
Watch Rosanna Scotto and Laurie Stokes on Good Day New York.
Coming up next, don't miss Herd for the Holidays. Colin Cowherd and Christine Leahy hit all the biggest stories in sports from the year of 2017. Herd for the Holidays gives you everything you need to know to impress your friends this holiday season with the smartest takes in sports. And it's next, right here on Fox.
Welcome to the fall.
January 4th. 4 rising stars must defend their seats.
Are you ready to take one of these seats?
From amazing new artists.
You have to want it.
I love you guys, but I think you should be absolutely terrified right now.
The battle is on.
She looks a little scared to challenge me. Sweetheart, I'm not scared of nobody.
This is what we came here to do. Challenge!
The 4 Battle for Stardom premieres January 4th on Fox.
the Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Say cheese.
A Christmas Story live tonight on Fox.
NFC East slugfest, Philadelphia and the Giants. Second half kickoff right around the bend. You're watching the National Football League on Fox.
911, what's your emergency?
I can help you.
Lease the 2018 Sportage LX for only $159 a month at Kia's Light Up the Holidays sales event.
Meet the new builder. They're launching scrappy startups and reinventing big business. They know the freedom to fail is the freedom to build, and they don't freak out when they run into a problem.
Stop.
We're the cloud that's obsessed with turning their dreams into realities. With the most capabilities, the most innovation, the most customers, and the most experience. Because we believe nothing should stand in the builder's way. Amazon Web Services. Yes! Build on.
I'm thankful that I'm alive and have a second chance.
I'm thankful for the help and the opportunity that I received.
I'm thankful to be able to help people in crisis.
I'm thankful that addiction is treatable and that help is available.
New Jersey is experiencing a heroin epidemic fueled by opioid painkillers. But if you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, I want you to know we are here for you. This holiday season, choose help. Call 844-REACH-NJ or visit reachnj.gov.
Lease a 2018 Sorrento L for $179 a month at Kia's Light Up the Holidays sales event.
Hurry in and receive a holiday credit of up to $3,000 on select BMW models.
This game brought to you locally by your Tri-State BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
You cannot wear a Raiders jersey to my family's Christmas dinner. Turn it off. Just turn the lights off.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
The Eagles get the ball. You look at the first half numbers. The Giants more than double the number of total yards. But when you block a punt and you pick off a pass, work on a short field, couple of touchdowns, a 2-point game at halftime. Very short kick, and Barner still on his feet and out across the 25-yard line. And what's going on at halftime, Peter Schrager?
Tom, Coach Doug Peterson told me the message going into halftime, you cannot give them anything. He said they had a bad third down penalty early in the game on defense. He says the offense was, quote, spit and sputter at times, needs to be better. As for Coach Steve Spagnuolo, the Giants, he said it's all about Giants pride. He goes, we're up 2 points, fresh 30 minutes. Let's ruin their day and let's give these fans a win.
That's what Coach Spagnuolo was talking about on Friday, this Giants pride. And they played like it so far. With a 2-point lead, and the Eagles with the ball to begin the second stanza. That's Eli Apple, his second big hit today on a Philadelphia receiver. Hurts with maybe a 2-yard gain.
And I think if you're an Eagles fan, you need to be encouraged because that guy right there has held up his end of the bargain. The defense started out slow, but had some issues in the secondary in the first half, but toward the second half, they settled down. This is where Nick Foles needs to operate that RPO with a fake handoff. And the middle of the field has been open on that play action if they go to it.
That RPO, the run-pass option. Right there, you just saw it. And then running the wrong way after making the grab with Smith. This should have been a first down. He's a yard short.
Well, this is DJ Goodson who's going to drop into the zone, and it's the RPO thing. But watch Goodson right here. He doesn't get sucked up too bad on the run, so he's able to get to his zone and run and break on Torrey Smith to bring him just short. If I'm the Giants, I bring pressure. Now remember, the last short yardage play against the Eagles, Brownlee got great pressure, allowing Adams to blitz off the corner to stop LeGarrette Blount for the first down.
Philadelphia 16 of 19 on 3rd down and a yard. They were 12 for 12 on 4th and a yard and didn't get it. They do get it this time with LeGarrette Blount. Shot down by Darian Thompson, but that will move the chains.
Brett Selleck had a nice job of caving that corner inside, allowing Blount to get his shoulders going north and south. Just the little things. That's what championship teams do. Seal the deal on the corner. Blount was able to fall forward.
Selleck, the 11-year veteran, he has been one of the toughest and most durable and most reliable and productive Eagles really in the history of the franchise. He's missed one game in his 11 years. Down the middle of the field. Boy, that's a tough catch, and able to haul it in was Alshon Jeffrey. There is a penalty flag down, but this will be against the Giants undeniably.
He's been a great pickup for the Eagles, and I refer to these guys, they're like power forwards in basketball. Eli Apple has good coverage on Alshon Jeffrey.
Defense number 24. The result of the play is a completed pass, therefore the penalty is declined. First down.
But he's so strong in his route running, and look, this is not an easy pass. This is a confident guy right here. This is throwing to a window and letting his receiver make the play by throwing him open. That's a great ball by Nick Foles. Something to be optimistic about is the more he plays, the more comfortable he's going to get.
You know, when Jeffrey came to the league, it looked like he was going to be one of the great stars at the wide receiver position. Now Foles looking around and throws to Ertz, and that'll be a first down to the 34-yard line. You know, second year in the league, back-to-back years over 1,000 yards for Alshon Jeffrey. Went to a Pro Bowl, but the last 2 years he's missed a dozen games. And so Chicago decides not to bring him back. Philly brings him in. He's had an outstanding season.
He plays hard, plays with strong hands. Rarely drops the ball, makes tough catches inside. How about that confident throw? Across your body, back to the middle of the field. Yeah, you want to be careful on those because he did have room to run if he wanted. Jeffrey's tough.
Up under center, Foles fakes a handoff again and again, rolls right, being chased, and just throws it away. For more on Alshon Jeffrey, Peter Schrager.
You know, it's an interesting deal, Tom, because they signed him to a one-year deal in free agency and said, hey, let's see how this goes midway through this season. Let's give him a big extension and sign the deal. And for Alshon Jeffrey, this guy could have hit free agency again this year. He told me, his people in his group said, look, he's happy, he's confident, he's playing the best football of his life. Let's keep him being an Eagle, and he's going to be here for a stretch run.
You know what else he has? He has a pretty good young quarterback that makes him look good, Carson Wentz. That's a big reason why he stayed in Philadelphia, because he'll put up numbers with Wentz.
He was with Jay Cutler there for a while, and Cutler had a couple of decent years with the Bears. And now they come back to Jeffrey. Excellent blocking in front, and he's finally tackled at the 15-yard line.
Well, it's nice when you got a center that can get 25 yards downfield and be able to get a block. This is a nice little screen pass. Everybody's getting downfield. A well-called play. Good patience by Jeffrey. Watch Kelsey, though, at the end of this. Right there, you got Vaitai getting a block. Look at Kelsey, put him on his back.
Ray tried to hit his own teammate.
But I got excited for that because linemen never get glory for that. You know, big hit by linebacker, big hit by DB. How about the center taking a DB and putting him where he belongs on his back? Now Thompson has to bounce back off of that.
Tell you, those last two guys we've talked a little bit about, Kelsey and Selleck, both out of the University of Cincinnati, and they have been excellent players here for a long, long time. And this is Burton down to the 12-yard line. Kelsey in his 7th year. He's been in the Pro Bowl twice.
Yeah, you're going to see him come here, and this is tough. This is what you should do. Thompson, I don't think, sees him coming or too late. And when you got guys making blocks downfield, offensive linemen making blocks 25 yards downfield, that's where big plays happen. I played for the great Marv Levy. He started every offensive meeting out with this. If the receivers and everybody blocks downfield, sustains blocks, big plays happen. That's exactly what happened right there. Big plays when guys block downfield.
2nd down and 8, and they will hand it to Blunt. It's normally pretty stout Philadelphia running game has been shut down today.
Well, you see Lane Johnson on that? He was carrying Blunt. He missed his guy on the block, so he said, all right, I'll miss the block, but I'll drag him for 2 yards. Hey, that's a small win. Everything you can do, you do. He's a fighter. We know that.
McBarner is their leading rusher today. 2 carries for a total of 21 yards. Ajayi, who checks back in, 6 for 19. Blunt, 4 for 12.
Well, those 2 guys you got to keep your eye on in the red zone for the Eagles. Everybody knows it. Ertz and Burton. Those 2 guys right there.
And they throw the play that seemingly never works.
That's your favorite play. What are you talking about?
Call in the league. And statistically, it's borne out. Well, every blue moon it works. 90-something% of the time, it never works.
This because, wait, freeze it right there, guys. This because this guy and this guy are on the same page. If he's up top, you have to throw the back shoulder. He doesn't throw the back shoulder. He throws it too quickly, does not read the position of the defensive back. He throws it to the pylon. That's just a miscommunication between receiver and quarterback.
And when I'm referring to a terrible play, I'm talking about the straight jump ball like that one right there, not the back shoulder throw. Here's a field goal, 28-yarder, and it is good by Jake Elliott. Opening drive of the second half. Results in 3. And the Eagles lead the Giants in the Meadowlands by 1.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. How many is too many bits? How does it fold?
Doesn't look right.
There it is.
So when's the little lady due?
In like 4 hours.
Adoption.
Yeah.
More nonstop flights so you can be there when it matters most. Behind every story is the reason for transparency.
May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation. Long live Spirit. May your heart. And long live the trucks that take on whatever the season brings. Ram, proven to last.
Get 0% APR for 72 months, plus 1,000 bonus cash, plus no monthly payments for 90 days on 2017 Ram 1500 models.
Alexa, fast forward 2 minutes.
Oh, wait, what?
I think you hurt his feelings.
Alexa, pause. Dad, are you serious? I'm 28 years old.
And I am still your father.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Alexa, resume.
Ugh.
Is that what life is like, though? I mean, is it all planned and scheduled?
It's time for some Straight Talk. You want high-speed data that never runs out? You got it. Introducing Straight Talk's Ultimate Unlimited Plan. All the 4G LTE data you want, all high speed, and all for just $55 a month, only from Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Introducing the new Bacon King Jr. Stacked with a quarter pound of flame-grilled beef, melted cheese, and topped with crispy bacon. It packs the big taste of Bacon King in a smaller package. The Bacon King Jr., now part of the Bacon King family, only at Burger King.
They know that I know.
The truth lies in the X-Files.
The X-Files premieres Wednesday, January 3rd on Fox. Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Told you before the game, Philadelphia can nail down home field advantage through the playoffs with a win today and a Minnesota loss. Minnesota's not going to lose. They are killing Cincinnati. So it basically boils down to if the Eagles can win 2 of their final 3, including this game, and Minnesota loses 1 more game, the Eagles will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They have not had a home game to start the playoffs since 2004. Raymond from the goal line and out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. You know, it's pretty incredible that no team has repeated as NFC East champion since the Eagles did it from 2001 to 2004. Cowboys and Eagles lead the pack with 4 division titles. Giants have 3. Washington 2. The 2011 Giants are the only division champion since 2005 to win more than 1 playoff game. They beat New England, of course, in Super Bowl 46.
Hey, flip. Hey, 95 is mine, 24 is Sam. 24 Sam. That's what we think there's will. 118. What's that?
First possession with 9:12 to go now here in the Meadowlands. Up to the 25-yard line is Gallman.
Remember, the Giants in the first half had success going up tempo, no huddle, and they go right back to it. Gives Eli a little bit of a pre-snap read on what defense the Eagles are playing.
And it was that slam that was so effective early on, and this time defended well by Darby. So 3rd down and 8. And here's Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Tom. We head back to Carolina. Panthers up 17-14 in the 3rd quarter. Cam Newton finds Damiere Byrd in the back of the end zone. The touchdown was called incomplete. Panthers challenge called reverse. Panthers lead 24-14. Cam's 3rd touchdown pass of the day. Tom?
Well, we've talked about Cam all year long. The healthier he gets, the worse news that is for the rest of the NFL. That one's slightly thrown behind Ingram. He dropped it. It wouldn't have mattered. He was already down on 1 knee, and he was well short of a first down. So 3 and out on the opening drive of this second half for the Giants.
And better communication in the secondary for the Eagles, who did struggle in the first half with missed tackles. That time, everybody defended the sticks well to make sure Eli had to dump it down, counting on a 4-man pressure to get there.
Wing had that punt blocked in the first half, and they nearly had another one in that half. And this one punted out of bounds. Great field position for the Eagles. Close to their own 40. A 1-point game.
I gotta get out of here. Which way? I don't know. What am I looking for? Something I can't see. I can feel it. It's magic. Sauvage. Dior.
Available at Macy's.
There he is, your new brother-in-law. You like him. He's one of those guys who always smells good. His 5 o'clock shadow is always at 5 o'clock. You like him. Your mom says he's done really well for himself. He has stocks and bonds. Your dad wants to go fishing with him. Your dad doesn't even like fishing. You like your brother-in-law, but you'd like him better if you made more money than he does. Don't get mad at your brother-in-law. Get E-Trade.
They're gonna kill you first, then they're gonna kill me. And that's when the stupid's gonna start.
I'm about to take over the city.
Hey, don't get me stabbed.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna cut you a break on the reckless driving.
Bright, a Netflix film.
Being a location scout, my office is on my back. The less stuff I have to carry, the better. With Service Pro, I have one device that does everything. Technology has really changed how I do this job. On Pacific Rim Uprising, our characters are 250 feet tall. Where in the heck are you going to land this big robot? Pulled up a satellite image, and there is like a giant bullseye. Robots here. I feel very proud of what I bring to the screen. I have the greatest job in the world.
I'm not going to let being stuck in a chimney stop me from telling you all about my $5 filler. with 100% white meat popcorn chicken, my signature finger-licking good sauce, and a festive bounty of sides. It's finger-licking good.
We're at MetLife Stadium, home of both the Giants and the New York Jets. 24-23, the Eagles in front. We have 8:38 to play in the third quarter. And excellent field position starting from their own 41 is Philadelphia.
About time for the Giants D to step up and make a play to help their offense. Just the way the Eagles defense helped their offense in the first half. The big interception by Darby.
Foles looking down the field, and that's Matt Hollins, a rookie out of North Carolina. Incomplete at 2nd down and 10, and here's Peter Schrager.
Guys, we spoke with Nick Foles yesterday at length, and he revealed something that was pretty interesting, I think. After he was waived by the Rams last year in training camp, he said he and his wife considered long and hard about retirement. Foles considered saying, hey, it's been a good run, let's hang it up. Just thinking about it, then Andy Reid called him up, the guy who drafted him in Philly, and said, I've got a backup spot in Kansas City. I want you to be my guy. The rest is history. He's now here. He's going to be winning games for the Eagles.
Here's Ajayi into the secondary. And by far his best run of the day. In fact, more on that carry than he'd had all day long.
Well, good blocking right here, but this guy right now has been my most valuable player in this Eagles offense. Because watch this block, when you have a center that can pull, cut off a linebacker, and swing your hips inside to create that hole right there, then get downfield and get another block. Kelsey, yes, sir. That's championship football right there. When you can get two guys in one block as you're pulling from the center position, it's not easy to do. That's a talented center right there.
Well, he's been to the Pro Bowl twice and more than likely going again this year. Foles a little screen to Ajayi after that 22-yard run. And sniffing the end zone, Ajayi, and he is chopped down inside the 5.
This feels like an Eagles home game here. They got him going. Everything. Ajayi, they're going to set the screen. Everybody again. Kelsey doing a good job. Foles, good play action, nice patience, using his eyes to take defenders away from the screen area. And Ajayi has all that room to work, and he's been an excellent addition.
And there your guy, Kelsey and Warmack leading the way again.
It's an offensive line has stepped up big.
That's 54 yards from scrimmage the last 2 plays for Jay Ajayi. 22-yard run, 32-yard catch. Olivier Vernon crossing the line of scrimmage. Or was he drawn off? Or had the play clock expired?
A lot of times defensive linemen have especially in their up position, look at the play clock to try to get a jump on the snap and take a shot.
Prior to the infraction by the defense, the play clock expired. Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So if you're the Giants defense, you know who the targets are down there. Any tight end in the ball game is a big target. Their tight ends have 14 touchdowns on the year in the red zone. You must account for them first and foremost, and hopefully you match up on their receivers man-to-man with your skill.
It's 14 for the year after the 2 more of them today. One by Burton and one by Zach Ertz. A roll, and that's Aguilar, minimal gain. 2nd down and goal from the 10. You know, oftentimes a quarterback can build up numbers, moving them from the 20 to the 20. But Carson Wentz was throwing touchdowns, and that is something Foles has done today. He has 3 touchdowns without an interception. Twice has worked with a short field. And now looking to the corner of the end zone to Aguilar, and that's a touchdown, Philadelphia. 4 touchdowns for Nick Foles, and this is his first start of the year.
And what we're seeing is trust each series. building and developing between receivers and their new quarterback, Nick Foles. He's just going to throw this jump ball, recognizes the back is turned by Daryl Morris. Throw that ball up there, and Aguilar times it perfectly, going and catching it off the back of number 23, Morris. Boy, they spread the ball around. It was almost a combination jump ball and back shoulder throw, because it was thrown short of the momentum of Aguilar. That is beautifully done. Well, look, we're not through 3 quarters yet. Carson Wentz threw 33 touchdowns this year. And look at the alley-oop and the slam.
At T-Mobile, when you holiday together, great things come in twos. Like T-Mobile and Netflix. Right now, when you get an unlimited family plan, Netflix is included. Wow. T-Mobile covers your Netflix subscription, so you can catch the hottest new movies and shows all year long on us. Amazing. And it's your last chance to buy any of these hot new Samsung Galaxy phones and get a second one free. That's one Samsung for you and one to gift, just in time to finish off your list. T-Mobile, holiday together.
I'm Mark, and I quit smoking with Chantix. I tried cold turkey. I tried the patches. I was tired, and I was fed up. I wanted to try something different.
Along with support, Chantix Varenicline is proven to help people quit smoking.
Chantix reduced my urge to smoke.
Compared to the nicotine patch, Chantix helps significantly more people quit smoking. When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Some people had changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, or suicidal thoughts or actions with Chantix. Serious side effects may include seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or allergic and skin reactions, which can be life-threatening. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have any of these. Tell your healthcare provider if you've had depression or other mental health problems. Decrease alcohol use while taking Chantix. Use caution when driving or operating machinery. The most common side effect is nausea.
I'm finally free of smoking.
Ask your doctor if Chantix is right for you. Many insurance plans cover Chantix for a low or $0 copay.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you?
Grande flat white, please.
Make that 2.
I got this.
No, you don't.
I got this.
I got this.
You want to spread a little joy? We've got an easier way to do it. Now you can tap to pay with Visa at Starbucks this holiday season.
The mountains are my calling. Each precious moment of time is mine. Powered by the light around me, I reach higher. Citizen ProMaster. Go beyond.
Break a leg, everyone.
Rehearsals are now in progress for A Christmas Story Live. Don't be nervous.
Go get 'em!
A Christmas Story Live tonight on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
4 touchdown passes for Nick Foles. That's the most he's thrown since that magical year of 2013, when he threw 27 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions, leading the Eagles to the NFC East Championship and into the playoffs. And we still have nearly a quarter and a half left to go. And not only the 4 touchdowns, as it's brought back to the 20, but he's hit 4 different receivers. And 3 of them, Jeffrey Aguilar Ertz. First trio now in franchise history with 8 or more receiving touchdowns in the same year.
Yeah, Trey Burton not far behind. He has 5 on the year, including 1 today. That's what makes them so difficult to defend, because whether it's Carson Wentz or Foles, they spread the ball around and make you defend the whole field, and they're athletic on the edge. They get up in the air and jump and win jump balls, and tight ends can run. They're just a big problem to cover.
Well, the Eagles through 13 weeks had scored over 400 points. That's the most they'd ever scored in franchise history through 13 games. The Eagles offensively lead the NFL, averaging 31 points per game, and they sit on that number right now with still 5.5 to go in the third.
The other thing that makes them so good, they're second in the league at 143 yards rushing per game, which makes that RPO, that run pass option, so effective, because they do run the ball efficiently.
27, 118,
And Sangram up to the 25-yard line. It brings up 3rd down and 5.
Giants need some life. They need to get a play. Somebody needs to step up. Ingram is the go-to guy in these type of situations, and the Eagles so far have done a good job of at least watching him and keeping an eye in press coverage, not letting him get open, making him work.
Manning 21 of 36, 258, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. They went 3 and out their first possession of this half. This is 3rd down. And he overthrew a wide open Sterling Shepard. That should have been a home run ball.
There's Shepard up top. The protection's good, allowing Eli to set this up. And again, it's Shepard on a nice little wheel route, had him beat. Patrick Robinson was looking back at the quarterback, and Shepard was pulling away, and a missed opportunity for the G-Man.
Eli knows he should have had it. And out in coverage, shaken up, is Patrick Robinson.
Patrick Robinson does a good job as their nickel back. Last week against the Rams, he played a lot of linebacker for them.
Well, people forget this guy was a #1 pick by New Orleans. There's some talent there. We'll back in 30 seconds after this from Duracell and Lowe's.
Do you need the most trusted battery this holiday? Maybe not. Maybe you could trust the world would be just as happy without them. Or you could just trust Duracell.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Well, come in. I'm wrapping your present.
The moment you realize you aren't the most original gift giver.
At Lowe's, we can help you pick out the perfect gift that your family is sure to love.
Get a DeWalt 2-tool 20-volt max combo kit for only $179 at Lowe's.
Good to see Patrick Robinson back up, trotting to the Philadelphia sideline. So the Giants will punt it. Back-to-back possessions here in this second half. 3 and out. And really that has been the story. More 3-and-out possessions for the Giants than any team in the National Football League this year. They're saying this is on Philadelphia. If it is, this is an automatic first down.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
So new life for the Giants on offense. Fresh set of downs.
Well, this is the same formation as far as the punt block team that they had when they did block the punt. Right here, there's going to be a little push that knocks his guy in front of him off balance, and he jumps early right there. You got to be able to hold that and understand the situation, to be patient and look at the ball. Don't listen to words. Look at the ball before you go.
Manning on first down, swings it out of the backfield to Gall. And a good tackle made in the open field by Corey Graham. Graham's a guy that's had a really nice career. I mean, he's never been a big star, but 11 years in the league. Grew up in Buffalo. Turner Carroll High School. Came in the league all the way back in 2007 with Chicago. Won a Super Bowl with Baltimore. Been a good player.
Reliable, trustworthy.
Yep. Short of a first down is Gallman. 3rd and 2.
Graham can play multiple group of positions. Right here now he's playing linebacker / nickelback. Missed the tackle there, but you know he's going to be in the right place at the right time as Robinson comes back into the game for Graham.
Those guys that come out of those smaller programs, you were a great star at Ohio State. But a guy like him coming out of New Hampshire, you know, you just want the chance, and it's what you make of it, and Graham's made the most of it.
He's made his mark on special teams also, does a great job for the Eagles in that area. And see Eric Flowers being helped off, left tackle for the Giants.
He has started all but one game since they made him their #1 pick out of Miami of Florida in 2015. So Chad Wheeler takes over at left tackle for the injured Flowers on this 3rd down and 2. And that is a catch and a first down to Sterling Shepard, having a big day today.
It's a nice play call, taking the pressure off Wheeler by rolling away from Wheeler. So you're not asking him to block one-on-one. Shepard just going to work to the sticks right here. A good throw by Eli on a run, but also taking the pressure off the newly inserted Wheeler at left tackle, going away from him.
7 catches, 114 yards now for Shepard. And they hand it off to Darkman, still on his feet, and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Big start for Eli Manning. First 2 possessions, touchdowns for the Giants. But since then, 13 of 25. An interception which led to a touchdown. It was an interception and then a blocked punt where the Eagles came back to take a lead. And across the middle, this is King. Inside the 20, the 10, and King dives into. Did he get to the end zone? No, he is just inside the 1. And now they say touchdown. That is the second touchdown of this game, and it stands for Tavares King.
See right here, Tavares King running. Does a good job of letting the flyby happen. From the 4-yard line, he takes off, and I think that's a touchdown. Absolutely. Across the plane with the football. And that's that slant route they've been working all day. That time he beat Ronald Darby off the ball inside. Eli put that ball nice in front of him so he can make a smooth transition from catch to run without slowing down. They're going to go for 2 here too, Tom.
They are reviewing the play as they do after every scoring play. And taking a look back in Los Angeles, as he used to do just down the road here in New York every Sunday when he was head of the NFL officials, Dean Blandino. What do you think here, Dean?
Yeah, I'm looking at this. A couple of factors. Does that right toe just touch out of bounds before he can extend the ball over the goal line? Don't think you can tell for sure. It does look like the ball is inside the pylon. The left arm is going to hit out of bounds. All of that said, I think it's a good call on the field and that the call on the field will stand.
So you think it's a touchdown?
I do believe it's a touchdown.
All right.
I don't think that right foot hit. You're right, Dean. I think it looks like it hits, but to me it does not. Right there.
You can see it right there. It's close. And then he's going to fall forward. The ball inside the pylon, breaking the plane. Don't see anything to change the call on the field here.
Okay. Well, we are still awaiting the final verdict. The Giants, look, they've already decided here, it looks like, Chris, that they believe it's going to stand, and they're going to go for 2. Going all the way back to that blocked extra punt on their blocked extra point on their first touchdown of the game by Derek Barnett.
I absolutely like the call, and everybody has a favorite 2-point play.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And, you know, for a minute, this Tavares King, I don't mean to interrupt, Craig. You know, this guy, another guy, I mean, a really nice pickup. 5 different teams have cut this guy, including the Giants twice. He had 4 receptions in the NFL since 2014, and now 2 touchdowns here today. They go for 2 to try and knot it up. Manning standing tall in there, and now dropped. Pressure by Graham and Cox, who finished him off. So it's a 2-point game after the touchdown by Tavares King.
Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me in the club? Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me downtown? Okay. Every time
Papa John's pizza is just $10. That's any Papa John's large pizza or pan pizza, only $10. Call now or order online at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar. 0 calories. Max Pepsi taste.
Do we really have to choose him to be our next spokesperson?
He's so boring.
Sounds like you're on the fence. Why don't I just leave you my resume? Yes, it's laminated.
No thanks.
Hired.
Try caramel M&Ms.
Ow.
At Zales, we believe a diamond kind of love is all about that look. Right there. Hurry in this weekend to save 30% off everything through Sunday. Zales, the diamond store.
Want to stay up to date? Hey Siri, show me football scores.
I told you Eli Manning has put up big numbers, both touchdown passes, passing yards, and interceptions for that matter against Philadelphia. He's had a hard time beating Philadelphia. 10-16 in his career.
You know, the interesting thing to me, Tom, everybody's saying, are the Eagles done with Nick Foles as quarterback? The answer is no. But they better improve defensively. The past 2 weeks, they've been getting their rear ends handed to them.
You're right about that. Rams put up over 30 against them last week, and now the Giants knocking on the door at 30. And how about Foles today?
Well, he's been sharp. I'm not surprised. I saw that game last week against the Rams. He came in and composed, understands the offense, has so many weapons that he spreads the ball around. Ajayi's going to be more of a factor. They're just so difficult to stop because of the variety of plays and players that he uses, that Carson used.
Well, he hit that 3rd and 8. That was the biggest play to seal the game, if you will, by Foles after he took over for Wentz in the 4th quarter. Great throw and a really nice catch by Aguilar. First down, they give it to Ajayi, and he picks up 3.
I think that's his, there'll be plenty of game here and all that, but, you have one of the worst offenses in the league, 31st ranked, putting 29 up on you. What L.A. did to him last week, they need to get it going on the defensive side of the ball if they want to accomplish what they want to accomplish in the playoffs, as B.J. Goodson is down for the Giants.
Well, he has missed 6 games this year with ankle and shin injuries. Been a tough year for Goodson, his 2nd year out of Clemson. 4th-round pick a year ago. So 31-29, the Eagles in front. Chris, those are the things most of the people tomorrow, if Philadelphia does indeed, finish this game and win the game, and there's a long way to go, not suggesting they're going to win it, but Foles has thrown 4 touchdown passes. He was the focal point coming into the game. You're making a great point, I think, in that they got some other things they better be watching, too.
Well, they definitely have to improve on the defensive end, and you look at the big plays. We had Shepard with a huge play, right? King with a huge play in the secondary, and tackling needs to be shored up a little bit more. I think, to me, when you look at these Eagles, defensively is where they need to improve if they want to get to their goal, and that's a Super Bowl.
Well, while we have a moment, they continue to look after Goodson. We will send it back to Los Angeles to Kurt Menefee.
All right, Minnesota thrashing Cincinnati. Case Keenum, 20 of 23 passing, 2 touchdowns, including that one to Kyle Rudolph, who's now scored in 4 straight games. They're up 34-0 on the Bengals. Tom?
All right, Kurt, thank you very much.
And that's who the Eagles are in a fight, right, for the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Right. Minnesota wins today. They'll seal the North.
Well, I tell you, that's a gritty team, Minnesota. Your brother, Rick Spielman, is a general manager there. I mean, they've had some big-time injuries, too, to that team. Starting quarterback down in Bradford. Star rookie running back through the first month and a half. Dalvin Cook out for the year. among others.
You know what it says? It says to me, and we're seeing it right here in at our own game and in our own eyes, to have a veteran backup, a guy that has starts under his belt with Case Keenum, a guy that has wins under his belt. Right there, Nick Foles, 20 career victories as a starting quarterback in this league. That's valuable experience.
Pump fake all day to throw, and then a misread there. Jeffrey took off, realizing he had a shot at the big ball. Foles thought he was going to the sideline, and that's one of the things you brought up earlier. And I think you really have to be inside football to understand the relationship. Different position groups, but quarterbacks working with wide receivers. Foles not getting many of those snaps with this regular bunch.
No, there's just a little bit of rust, even on the one that they mistimed in the goal line on the fade that you talked about. The DB was up top. When he's on top of the receiver, that's when you throw the throw behind, which he'll get worked out as they progress forward. The more he plays.
Third down. Foles unsure he wanted to throw that. Looked in between like he wanted to run it, wanted to throw it, and then threw high to a wide open Zach Ertz.
The big 3-and-out right here. And I thought maybe Nick Foles was going to go ahead and take off and run with this football. He can run, keeping his eyes downfield. And once you hesitate right there, that threw off the timing and rhythm of the throw, which forced a high throw to Zach Ertz.
And more than likely, that's a play that Wentz runs. I mean, that was a big talk after he went down last week. He had the injury on the run. Oh, don't know what happened there, but that was a double pump by the punter, Donnie Jones. Ball continues to run down to the 20, inside the 20, and still rolling. I don't know if he lost his grip on the ball or what happened here, but that nearly turned into a block punt.
But there's good. Everything's good. Yeah, he lost his grip. He had to re-grip the football. And if the 48 on the Giants maintains his balance, if Ayers maintains his balance, he's going to go ahead and block that. But he was tripping, falling back into the punter. Now it's time for the defense again for the Eagles, like they did in the first half, to get momentum back, to get a play back. Somebody on that Eagle defense stepped up and made a play, and that guy was Darby.
And on the other side of things, now the Giants, you've got a chance to get down the field at the minimum with a field goal and recapture the lead in this final minute of the third quarter. And Eli dumps it off to Darkwa out of the backfield. And he's got 3 guys wrapped around him. And very close to a first down, maybe a yard short. They'll have to run one more play here before the end of the third quarter.
And they need points because we know that the Giants defense has given up 140 points into the fourth quarter, which is the worst in the league.
Orange double, 53. 118. What's that?
Darkwood. And there to meet him is Bradham behind the line of scrimmage. So that will be the final play of the third quarter. It'll be third down for the Giants, trailing by 2 when we begin the fourth. We're back after a word from your local Fox station.
They came out of nowhere, sir.
How many of them?
We don't know. Dozens.
All right, let's teach these freaks some manners.
Good luck out there, Captain.
Thanks, but I don't need luck. I have skill. I don't have my keys.
All hands, we are looking for the captain's keys again. They are on a silver carabiner.
Oh, this is bad.
As long as people misplace their keys, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You got your mic?
Yeah, I got it.
Your makeup on?
Think so.
Girdle?
No, I forgot.
We're just minutes away from going live.
Yeah, and we triple dog dare you to watch.
Toyotathon is on. Plus, every new Toyota comes with our no-cost maintenance plan.
Lease a new RAV4 for just $179 a month, or lease Highlander for just $259 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Picking out the best tree of them all. Whoa. Just to find out it's way too tall.
Whoa. Sing along
to a holiday song. All off key and all night long.
Get on the holiday road in a Honda. The 2017 KBB.com Best Value brand at the Happy Honda Day sales event.
Movie. Third word, stirring, stop mixing things.
Is it My Idiot Friend Got Satellite TV that cut out in the rain right in the middle of a game?
I think what you're thinking of is bitter little man who doesn't know how to make the best of a bad situation.
You guys are really good at this game. I haven't heard of any of these movies.
I mean, is there a brain in there, or is it just all horn?
I don't know. I've never seen it inside my head, so.
And there's our answer.
TV that can cut out in the rain is evil.
Do a sound slide.
Spectrum is reliable. Satellite TV, bad. Spectrum, good.
Toyotathon is on. Tis the season for great year-end savings.
Right now, lease a new 2018 Corolla for just $139 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
It's the RAV fourth quarter, brought to you locally by Toyota, the official vehicle of the New York Giants.
MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands of New Jersey, 31-29. Philadelphia in front. It's been a good game. Not sure many were expecting this one to be this competitive. But here we go in the fourth on a third down for Manning. And he drops it off to Gallman, who finds his way across the 30, and that is a first down.
It's a nice little play design right here. They bring Shepard into the backfield, go him into the flat to get the linebackers running this way, allowing a screen to the backside. Nice setup by the Giants.
And now they go back to that hurry-up offense. And that is Ingram across the 45 and another first down. That'll be a gain of 15. Let's check in downstairs with Peter.
Guys, they're assessing Tavares King for a potential concussion, so this drive you might not see 12 out there.
Well, he's had 2 touchdowns in a game today as King. Had 1 all year long. And this is Gallman, close to another first down. Depending on his spot, that could be close to a 10-yard run.
Patrick Robinson down for the Eagles.
He was injured earlier, you may remember.
I guarantee you on the sidelines, though, the Giants coming out. Let's not collapse in the fourth quarter. Is Giants pride a real thing? We're going to find out this fourth quarter. Stay tuned.
Do you have the papers?
Time magazine is raving about The Post. There is no more important film this year. And now it's been nominated for 6 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Actress Meryl Streep.
You can't do this. I'm not asking your permission.
Best Actor Tom Hanks.
If we don't publish, the country will lose.
And Best Picture of the Year.
I always wanted to be part of a small rebellion.
The Post, rated PG-13. So, you like it?
Little bit. Nothing gets a reaction like a gift from Kay Jewelers, where everything is 25% off. Save 25% off all rings, all necklaces, and all bracelets. That's 25% off everything. December 14th through 18th at Kay, the #1 jewelry store in America. Dad.
Every kiss begins with K.
Guess what I just got? Hello, guys. That's a big phone.
In your arms. You built the flame that warms my heart, but your lying and cheating has torn us apart.
Get up to $400 toward a Galaxy Note 8 or S8 with qualifying trade-in. Only on Samsung.com.
Get 2 Whopper sandwiches now for only $6. Only at Burger King.
It's last gift time. On Google Home Mini, this voice-controlled digital assistant helps set the mood and make every game night a winner. Thanks to the expert service and selection only at Best Buy. Open this last.
Angela Bassett, Peter Krause, and Connie Britton star in 911 January 3rd.
Today's game is sponsored by Kay Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by Burger King. Try the 2 for $6 Whopper sandwich deal today only at Burger King.
Well, after the injury we saw to Ryan Shazier a couple of weeks ago in that Steelers-Bengals game, you see stuff like this. This is a double hit here for Robinson. His head got hit by the foot of Gallman, and then his neck was hit, side of the head hit by his own teammate.
Yeah, it's McLeod coming in, and it's a bang-bang sport. He got the double shot right there, and I can't tell you, man, anytime that happens or you see something like that on the field, being a ex-player, there's a fraternity. You know, the one thing you want, first of all, the first thing I check, please be moving, and thankfully Patrick Robinson's up and getting off the field on his own power. Hopefully he'll be okay. Corey Graham now takes Patrick Robinson's spot. It looks like they might move. Malcolm Jenkins can also play that nickel, but that's been the primary position of Robinson.
All right, second down and less than a yard, about a 9.5-yard run by Gallman. And they give it right back to him, and the rookie out of Clemson plows his way inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line.
Good block right here by big 77 John Jerry pulling around. Or excuse me, 75. Lapio getting a good seal on Gallman, running with determination like he ran at Clemson for a national championship. He's a tough kid that runs bigger than he is. Nice job by Lapio getting around the corner edge, sealing the deal.
And a pitch it to Vereen, and that is Brandon Graham. Big loss there of close to 12 on first down.
Anytime you're a defensive lineman and you're Brandon Graham, if you have great hands and you do not let these big bodies into you, you can make plays like that. Just slips underneath, leverage wins, and gets an outstanding TFL tackle for loss. Playing with great leverage, 55. Brandon Graham, University of Michigan. Michigan man.
Spotted that at the 42-yard line. That'll be a loss of 9. And now all the Eagles fans chanting defense for the visiting team. High throw to Vereen, and then Bradham, a really nice open field tackle. Tell you, Bradham's a good player. In Buffalo for a number of years now, in his second season with Philadelphia.
Yeah, his biggest attribute is that he's solid on all 3 downs. You do not need to substitute for Bradham.
Third down and 17. And a strike put short of the first down. It does bring him within field goal range, however. It'll be a long one, but certainly more than makeable for Rosas, who is in his first year in the NFL. He's a big man. We were watching him warm up today. He was banging him from way back.
Yeah, he gets a lot of height on the ball, too. So you have to get great penetration if you want to get the block like Barnett did before that ball has a chance to climb the ladder in a hurry.
This will be a 48-yard field goal try. And it is blocked. They've had a point after blocked and now a field goal blocked. Barnett was the one who got the extra point. And Malcolm Jenkins denies the Giants a lead.
Oh, when you walk by every night, all gets sweet and looking fine.
To be jolly, I'm so into you.
What fun it is to ride and sing a song tonight. It's just a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby.
Hurry into Old Navy. Get up to 60% off the entire store with sleepwear from $7 and sweaters from $10 at Old Navy.
It all starts with a wish. The Lincoln Wish List event is here. Sign and drive off in a new Lincoln with 0 down and a complimentary first month's payment.
At At T-Mobile, when you holiday together, great things come in twos. Like T-Mobile and Netflix. Right now, when you get an unlimited family plan, Netflix is included. T-Mobile covers your Netflix subscription, so you can catch the hottest new movies and shows all year long on us.
Amazing.
And it's your last chance to buy any of these hot new Samsung Galaxy phones and get a second one free. That's one Samsung for you and one to gift, just in time to finish off your list. T-Mobile, holiday together.
For years, I've trained dogs for the Marines. And like me, some of these dogs have seen many tours of duty. And for the past 15 years, I've been a Navy Federal member. And thanks to their fast approval process, when it came time to buy a new car, we got everything we needed to transport my wife's little bundle of joy. Who I just adore.
Open to the armed forces, the DoD, veterans, and their families. Navy Federal Credit Union.
The 4 Battle for Stardom, a new singing competition January 4th on Fox.
Field goal protection on the wing. Number one job. Nobody gets inside. Make him run outside. Red Ellison is late with his left hand. Malcolm Jenkins jumps over that, avoids any tripping with his feet, and gets in there to block the field goal. That's a lack of execution twice. Once on an extra point and once on a field goal.
And both times the two guys on the right side, Eric Flowers and Rhett Ellison there.
That's inexcusable right there. You cannot let a guy in that inside gap. Rule number 1.
So we've had a blocked point after, a blocked punt, and now a blocked field goal. All allowed by the New York Giants special teams. Let's go downstairs to Peter Schrager.
Guys, the Giants defense might be without B.J. Goodson, the middle linebacker. It's an ankle injury. He's questionable return. It's something to watch for the Eagles. Trey Burton left the field. He's cramping, but he's probable to return.
All right, Peter, thank you very much.
That's cramping. That's double arms out, needles in for the IVs. You'll never cramp the rest of your life. Halftime. Avoid cramping. Arms out, needles in, IV it up.
He did. What a throw. That's a straight drop right there. That's something that really plagued Aguilar the last couple of years, but not much this year. It's only his 3rd drop all season long.
It's a big-time throw from the far hash on a deep out cut, right where he can get it. Just lost concentration right at the last second. That's a big-time throw, though. That's Nick Foles. I'll tell you, he's so far today, whatever happens, number 9 is holding up his end of the bargain.
And his offensive line has done a good job. He's only been sacked 1 time all day. Third down and 8. Great protection. And a flag comes in. Aguilar hangs on this time right into 50, and that's a first down if it stands. And it will.
I think I'm going to get Cockrell on Ertz. Holding.
Holding. Defense number 37. That penalty is declined as a result of the play. Is a first down.
That's why he's such a problem. Right here is going to be your holding. The route's going to be up here. But this is why Ertz is such a problem. Because he's so strong, you have to almost hold him, and the big tight ends are able to run through any type of pressure. Again, a well-thrown ball by Nick Foles.
Well, you call that, you can call holding on every play in the league.
They've been calling it today, so you got to know how the officials are calling it, and it tells you what you're allowed to do and not do as the game goes on.
So a first down after the completion, double pump by Foles. Every time he's gone to double pump today, it's been an errant throw. And let's check in with Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles.
We're going to go back to New Orleans. Tom Saints up 17-13 in the 4th. Drew Brees connected Michael Thomas for that 4-yard score. Saints lead this one 24-13. Tom?
Michael Thomas from your alma mater, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Big-time player.
Catching the ball from Drew Brees. Boiler up.
Hey, Bundy 4-7. Bundy 4-7.
Ajayi, instrumental in that last touchdown drive, had a 32-yard reception, a 22-yard run. He's averaging nearly 5 yards per carry here today when they give him the ball, but that is primarily because of the 22-yard run. He's been bottled up the rest of the day outside of that run.
Yeah, he's a guy that I think the more carries he gets, he's one of those guys that the stronger he becomes. He'll be instrumental and more involved in this offense as you move toward the playoffs, I believe, for Doug Peterson and the Eagles.
So here's another third down. The Eagles are 4 out of 9. Under 10 minutes to go here at MetLife Stadium. And Ertz stays on his feet and he'll get a first down. A missed tackle by Darian Thompson. And Ertz able to move the chains to the New York 35.
So the difference between winning 2 games and 11 games, when somebody has a chance to make a play, somebody makes a play, you have your shot. Get him down in the open field. Go and keep your head up and don't tackle air. Ertz does a great job of running through that and hustling. That's the difference, and you want to know why in the National Football League there's teams that have 11 wins and 2 wins. Right there, make a play in the fourth quarter. 27 didn't, 86 did.
And the fourth quarter has just been disastrous, as Chris touched on earlier for the Giants. They have been outscored 130 to 67. The 130 points allowed, the most in the NFL. If you're wondering for comparison's sake, the league average of points allowed in the fourth quarter is 84. The Giants have given up 130.
Make tackles on third down, you won't give up 130 points. Let's go. Giants pride. Time to put it on the line, Giants.
Second down for Foles. And Ajayi, powerful running. That's what you talked about a minute ago, and that's a first down to the 24.
You're going to see more and more of this as he's slow getting up right here, but this is that zone replay. You're going to get a cooler with it, and the Eagles do such a nice job of getting and sustaining blocks. And Ajayi rarely is tackled for a loss, or rarely does he go down sideways or backwards, always falls forward. I love the guy. I think he's a great player and is a great pickup by Howie Roseman and the Eagles front office to make that trade, to make your team better by bringing him into the organization.
And it's still Ajayi that is shaking up. You know, Howie Roseman, of course, once was the man, if you will, in the organization, and really lost a lot of power during the whole Chip Kelly regime and that sort of thing. And you know, Roseman has done an excellent job, whether it's drafting Carson Wentz. He acquired 2 1,000-yard rushers in LeGarrette Blount. And then the trade for Ajayi, invested heavily in that defensive line. And he really shored up a leaky secondary. Now, they've not played well here today. Been a lot of missed tackles, but Howie Roseman's done a good job. And, of course, the Giants are the one that'll be in search of a new general manager. So they mark him just short of a first down. It's 3rd and 1. Empty backfield. And Foles to keep it himself. I don't know. That is certainly not the forte of Nick Foles. Now the Eagles are saying first down.
What you're hoping is that big 6'6" frame gets over there and you motion to empty. That's an alert for defense on that shorter yardage of a play. Is the quarterback sneak, and the Giants responded pretty well. It's going to be close.
I don't think he got it. We'll see. I mean, it's about as close as you can get. Maybe fractionally has it. Now that you look down the line at this spot.
It's a good surge by the Eagles offensive line just to get enough to pick up that yard.
Fractionally indeed. How about that? All right, so now they'll start the clock back up again. This is a must field goal try situation for this Giants defense.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to be careful. If you do blitz, you might want to bring zone pressure so you're protected against the big play.
And we mentioned that Eli Manning, going all the way back to 2013, has a total of 6 fourth quarter come from behind wins. Fourth quarter or overtime. Foles gets rid of it, and wide open Aguilar. And it'll be first and goal, Philadelphia at the 8-yard line.
Nice comeback by Aguilar, not only on a route, but also after a drop. He's going to come down here and run a 7 route. Nick Foles takes a shot. And when you're in the film room, you see your quarterback take a hit like this, yet deliver the ball on time and on target. That gets the respect as Vernon gives him a shot. But Nick Foles feels it, has the rhythm. You mentioned it. Once he gets rid of those double clutches, then that's big time for this team.
Foles 21 of 35, 211 yards. He's thrown 4 touchdowns. What a day for Nick Foles, replacing Carson Wentz, his first start of the year. Blown dead before it ever started. Timeout was called. Oh, wait a minute, we have a flag on the play. But originally there was a timeout called, and that might end up ultimately being what happened here.
Prior to the expiration of the play clock, it was a charged timeout to Philadelphia. It is their first and will be 30 seconds. There is no foul.
I was talking to Doug Peterson. I said, Doug, you know the thing that told me that Foles is going to be ready to go? He took that shot from Aaron Donald, yet he was able to fit it in the tight window. In the film room, when you're reviewing the game, the offensive line hears about it. The defensive line hears about it. We know this guy is tough. He's going to hang in there. He's going to take shots. And yet, while he's taking that shot, he is still able to deliver strikes. That's why he has respect and belief of his teammates and his coaches. And right now, probably the Eagle fans, the way he's played today.
Well, we mentioned the last time he was a starter for the Eagles was the last time they went to the playoffs in 2013. He won 8 of his 10 starts that year, threw the 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. This will be the 11th play on this drive, and it's a first down. Ajayi back in there and nowhere to go. In 2014, Foles comes back the next year off that great 2013, and they go 5-2 to begin the year. But he broke his collarbone in a game against Houston. Mark Sanchez wound up finishing the year. And that would be all for Nick Foles. He was traded to St. Louis. Started there, wound up losing his job, ironically, to Case Keenum. And then they draft Jared Goff. He goes to Kansas City as a backup. And then to Philadelphia, as Peter Schrager told you earlier, is a free agent this offseason. Aguilar sniffed out beautifully by the Giants defense, and that's Rogers Cromartie. So now all of a sudden, they're a play away from holding the Eagles to a field goal try and still very much are in this game.
Rogers Cromartie, Tom, because of that and why they're able maybe to hold the field goal, had a great job of penetrating and splitting the 2 blockers. This is the rule of the screen. He's going to do his job, split these guys, apples out here, and the help's coming from here, and there's no place for Aguilar to go. Excellent defense and discipline by Cromartie. Got to keep your eye on Ertz. You know, we keep saying that. Everybody knows it.
And now Foles throws and denied the end zone is Torrey Smith.
Well, they had Ertz doubled, which allowed Torrey Smith to come in underneath.
They're going to go for another now. Now they're sending out the field goal unit. Excuse me, Chris.
Yeah, you have to send out the field goal unit. You have to go up and make it a touchdown game as opposed to a field goal game. Smart call, and it's the right call. And trust your defense to make a play.
It's a nice play by Cockrell.
Yeah,
denying Smith the end zone. So now a 20-yard field goal try by Elliott. He hit that franchise-long 61-yarder at the buzzer to beat the Giants in Week 3, and this is good to make it a 5-point game. There's still hope, though, in the big city, trailing 34-29, 3:56 to go.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Hi guys, so this is the all-new Chevy Equinox.
It's gorgeous.
It offers rear seat reminder, built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi, Apple CarPlay compatibility, and Team Driver technology. It's crazy. Yeah. Now to get all of these features, you'd need all 6 of those crossovers.
That's insane.
Yep, and you still wouldn't get everything that's in this Equinox.
Wow. 6 cars in one.
Yeah.
Use your employee discount for everyone to get $4,500 below MSRP on this 2018 Chevy Equinox. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Give a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. There's so much that we need to share. So send a smile and show that you care. Give a little bit of my love to you.
Hi, I'm Paul, the guy who switched to Sprint. Guess what? They just announced that their unlimited plan now comes with Hulu. I get unlimited access to Hulu Originals, thousands of hit shows, movies, next-day TV. It's crazy. I get Hulu included in my unlimited plan and streaming in HD. I can watch at home, at work, even when I'm just taking a break. That's TV that works for me.
Unlimited now with Hulu. 4 lines for $25 a month and the 5th line free. That's 50% off Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile.
NFL Network Saturday special. It's Colts. It's Ravens. When it's on, it's on. Indy is primed to play spoiler, but the Ravens are looking to make one final playoff push. Saturday, only on NFL Network.
All right, Eli Manning and the Giants with a chance here. More than enough time. Trailing 34-29. The Giants have all 3 timeouts left. This team has not scored 30 points in a game since last year. 29 games. And that wasn't during last season. That was the last game of the year before. So this is Raymond. And he's dropped right at the 20-yard line. All righty, bowl season kicking into gear here on Fox Wednesday. Foster Farms Bowl, Arizona and Purdue. And then next Thursday, the Holiday Bowl, Washington State taking on Michigan State. And that'll be on FS1.
Going to be 2 different coaches.
Oh, very
Mike Leach and Mark D'Antonio, the Pirate.
I'm not sure you could find 2 human beings further apart than Mark D'Antonio and Mike Leach, both excellent coaches.
And great guys.
Yeah. So here we go. Do the Giants have a comeback win in them? And that one is thrown to Shepard, and he made the catcher, did he? It looked like he dropped it incomplete, but there is a flag. So this could be going against Darby, who is in coverage of Sterling Shepard. Yeah, it is.
Illegal contact. Number 41, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
And you know what? That's a good penalty. Why? Because he's getting beat on a double move. And he's been beat on a couple double moves. But watch this. Shepard's going to come up and set himself down. And Darby knew that he was beat right there. So he did the right thing to cut him off to avoid anything over the top. When you feel like you're beat in this situation, you go ahead and take the penalty.
So first down, and Manning goes, oh, should have been intercepted. Of course, Bradham had 2 of those against the Rams last week, one of them right at the goal line.
Just a tremendous job of Bradham right here, reading the eyes of Eli Manning, coming off of his run, getting back into the throwing lane, and taking a good play, which should have been a great play, but he dropped the ball.
You might want to work on that drill throwing baseball for Bradham.
Your hands up.
That's 3 sure drops for interceptions for Bradham. Good player, but it's a bad spot in the hands. Manning looking around, throws off balance, and a beautiful throw and reception made by Roger Lewis Jr. There is a penalty flag down. Boy, what a beautiful throw by Manning.
Now they're going to get Eagles for holding right here.
Defense number 41. That penalty is declined to result of the play. The first down.
That's 2 penalties on his drive by The standout corner Ronald Darby, healthy again, missed 8 weeks in his season with an injured ankle.
Roger Lewis did a good job of route adjusting, saw his quarterback in trouble. Eli moving to a throwing lane. Lewis adjusted well. Gave him a target downfield.
Gonna hand it off. And Gallman to the 47. We check in with Clarissa Thompson, and now a fight breaks out.
Have a good one there, Tom. Here's another good one. Aaron Rodgers finds the other Rodgers, Richard Rodgers, for this 24-yard score. Marvin Evans recovers the onside kick here. Packers down 7 with 2 minutes left. Tom?
We send it back there to Clarissa, and meanwhile here all of a sudden right in front of the Philadelphia bench, a couple of players started pushing and shoving.
It's going to be Shepard and Jenkins, I believe, Tom, going after it, battling. Let him go. Play ball.
Yeah, let him go. No penalty flag, so the clock continues to run. We're at 2:50. Oh, that's very odd to see no penalty flags there. Here's Gallman. He escapes a short tackle. And that's something that Jim Schwartz has talked about the last 2 weeks. Very poor tackling by the Eagle defense.
Exactly, and this is the one right here where Shepard and Jenkins are going at it. Malcolm didn't like that, and they're both holding, but you got to maintain your composure and play ball.
First down for the Giants. Eli looking to Lewis. And nearly the one-handed catch with Darby in coverage.
They keep attacking Darby, huh? He's up there playing press coverage. That's an automatic read for Eli, going right to it, trusting his man to make a play over Darby. And that Darby's got the red X on him right now. That's the target.
.237 to go, 34-29. Philadelphia in front. Giants need a touchdown. That slant pattern's been there all day long, and that's Shepard to the 30. His 8th catch of the game, knocking on the door of 120 receiving yards.
So the Giants' offensive line has done a really good job of protecting Eli so far, giving him time to survey the field and find the open area.
Well, this is 4 down territory. Absolutely. Down by 5, so it's a 3rd and 3. They don't have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. But they will. And there's that slant again. I mean, it's like clockwork. And that'll be a first down, and we're in the 2-minute warning. Can Eli Manning lead the Giants in an upset over Philadelphia?
This time of year is all about family.
And we'd like you to be a part of ours.
So our Chevy employee discount is now available to everyone.
You pay what we pay.
And not a cent more.
We're so happy to share this with you.
It's our way of saying happy holidays.
And welcome to the family.
The Chevy family.
Use your employee discount for everyone and trade up to this Silverado All-Star to get a total value of over $11,000. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Larry Fitzgerald. It's halftime. What are you doing here?
I'm just grabbing a mid-game snack.
But you need to be...
It's cool, because now I can pay really fast with a tap of my Visa.
Whoa. He's got to get back. Give him his panini.
You have places to be. We help you get there faster.
You know when you've got takeout on your chest and the blanket around your feet, and then you realize the remote is on the other side of the couch? Just say, hey Google, play Westworld. It's Google Home Mini, now only $29.
Number 5, Blue, Chanel.
At Macy's.
Comment allez-vous appeler votre nouvelle bière? Je sais pas. Et comment est-ce que vous allez l'appeler?
Stella.
Named after a star, crafted to celebrate an unforgettable holiday. Always one to remember.
Reuben, on a Sunday afternoon.
Or you can get them on Mondays or Tuesdays, all week really.
Reuben.
The Reuben is back for a limited time at Subway. So much Reuben.
Arizona.
Arizona, Purdue in the Foster Farms Bowl. Washington State, Michigan State in the Holiday Bowl. 2 great bowl games on Fox and FS1.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevy. Chevy's earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
You've had a point after blocked in this game. You've had a field goal blocked in this game. If you had those 4 points back, a field goal try would win this one for the Giants. Instead, New York needs a touchdown to take the lead. 1:57 to go, and Vereen is wrapped up, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Kendricks there, Graham there, a host of others, Bradham as well.
No hurry here. Giants have all 3 timeouts left. Sure you get a good read on what you want to do. Be nice to have OBJ in there right now. Brandon Marshall. Got to play with what you have. Somebody step up and make a play.
Good protection, and there is Shepard again on just that slant crossing pattern. And that is a first down inside the 10.
Because it's Evan Ingram clearing out the middle of the field, which allows Shepard to come underneath the area because the middle of the field is being cleared out because Ingram is running hard away from the ball as a decoy.
Right on Manning was Kendricks, and the pass is caught. And slow to get up.
McLeod
is Sterling Shepard. McLeod also shaken up, and now the Giants going to call a timeout. So the points you left on the field, seemingly a gimme, a point after, blocked by Barnett in the first quarter. You have the block punt, which ultimately led to a Philadelphia touchdown. And then the blocked field goal. Now you start chasing to try and make up for it. You're going for 2. Bottom line is you've left 4 for sure points without even taking the touchdown into the conversation after the blocked punt.
This will be a frustrating day for Tom Quinn. Does a good job just today. They did not have their best day. Can the offense, can Eli Manning find the magic, bail him out?
And they charged Philadelphia with that timeout, by the way. So here's Manning throwing to the end zone, and that could have been intercepted by Darby. Oh, he just missed it.
Yeah, Lewis stops his route. I don't know why he stops his route. He gets in a little hand fighting right here. Eli's thrown to that corner right there. That's his target, is the orange pylon, and Lewis stopped his route early on, which screwed up the timing and allowed Darby to turn and get a play on the ball.
It's 3rd down and goal now. From the 11. And they run it on 3rd and goal. And Vereen gets down inside the 6, close to the 5-yard line, and I'm sure a timeout will be taken. Surprisingly, it's a timeout by Philadelphia. So it's 4th and goal now for Spagnuolo and the Giants. New York came out rolling. Touchdown on its first 3 possessions of the game. A team that averages 15 points per game. But the Eagles have blocked an extra point. They blocked the punt, which led to a touchdown. They blocked the field goal. And you see the numbers on Manning. He's thrown today for over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. And what about Nick Foles? 4 touchdowns without a turnover, but it's all now down to this.
There's 2 ways to play this as a defense. You either bring pressure or you drop 8, defend the goal line.
What would you do?
I drop and defend the goal line. Bring 3 and drop and defend the goal line.
He's going to be on the right tackle.
False start. Offense number 68. It's a 5-yard penalty. Because the clock was not running, this foul is now subject to a 10-second runoff.
This is Chris Long right here and Bobby Hart. Chris Long had the big play last week right now, and Bobby Hart jumping a little bit early did not hear or was not in sync with the cadence that Eli was singing out.
All right, here we go from just outside the 5 to now just outside the 10, and it is 4th down and goal.
See if Ingram right here is covered. A double. Defend that goal line for the Eagles.
They bring 4 on the rush. And Manning to the end zone. Incomplete with an eye on Ingram, who was looking for a flag. Back in coverage was Corey Graham.
Nice job of Corey Graham. He's been around. He knows what his responsibility is. He's going to stay outside, understanding his help is inside, not jumping inside whatsoever, is in great position, and a great no call by the officials. Outstanding job by the officials, not calling anything on that. Letting him play.
Well, now we have a flag. Unable to hear the official. I think it's an unsportsmanlike penalty. Not sure who they called the unsportsmanlike penalty on, but it will be a New York Giant. Maybe Ingram?
Somebody was upset about the call, but
maybe Shepard.
Yeah, give credit to Corey Graham, though. With Patrick Robinson out, Corey Graham was his replacement. Understanding what his job and responsibility is and having trust that the middle help was going to be there, so Ingram had to run his route right into him. Did a good job of keeping his hands away, not getting a PI.
And that penalty is against Sterling Shepard. 43 seconds left. The Giants can stop it 3 times. And this is LeGarrette Blount. Giants will call a timeout. 35 seconds remain. So with a win for Philadelphia, if they hang on, they are guaranteed a home game in the playoffs with a win here today. Minnesota won. So the bottom line is, if Philadelphia wins one more game and Minnesota loses one more game, then the Eagles will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But the big story is going to be around the NFL. Everybody wondering, what would this Eagles offense look like with Nick Foles at quarterback rather than the man many feel was the leader in the clubhouse, if you will, before the injury, Carson Wentz, for the league's most valuable player. And at least on this Sunday in the Meadowlands of New Jersey, Nick Foles has more than answered the question.
And I'm reminded of the Meadowlands of New Jersey in 1990 when Phil Simms, the great Phil Simms, who I thought was a tremendous competitor, was 11-3, and he got hurt. And they go to the bullpen. Jeff Hostetler comes out and leads them to the Super Bowl. I think Nick Foles is more than capable of doing that.
But of course, this was 1990. Simms breaks his foot week 15 against the Bills. And then Hostetler, the last 2 regular season games, picks up wins, a number 2 seed, and ultimately, after beating the Bears and the 49ers, a rematch with the Bills in Super Bowl 25. And a 20-19 win. Now, having said all that, it should be noted, 1990 is a long time ago. And yes, you can draw from that. But let's look over the last 5 years of teams that wound up in the playoffs. And they lost their starting quarterback near the end of the year. Last year, Oakland and Miami. Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill. They were out. The year before that, Andy Dalton in Cincinnati. The year before that, Carson Palmer and Christian Ponder. Not one of those 5 teams won a single playoff game with the quarterback who replaced the starter. That's just in the last 3 years in the NFL.
I think a good sign is the day that Foles has had today, 24, 38, 237, and 4 touchdowns. My concern, if I'm an Eagles fan, wouldn't be about Foles. I think Foles can do it. My concern would be I have the worst offense, or one of the worst offenses in the league, put 29 points up on me, and I gave up a big bunch of plays today, big plays, chunk yards. They need to get that tightened up a little bit. Then I think the Eagles would be the favorite if they get their defense tightened.
Well, Jim Short's an outstanding defensive mind. Now here we go on a punt.
Remember, he bobbled the last one.
Oh, I tell you, he's lucky he didn't punt that ball right into the pile. So this will be Raymond to the 27. This one not over yet. I don't know if this is what Donnie Jones was trying to do, but he's lucky this wasn't kicked into one of his own players.
And I think he's one step, and he almost missed the football. He kicked the top of the ball, and that was close to being blocked. You're right. So here, for the Giants, you want to get something at least probably to the 50-yard line, 45-yard line to give your guy a chance to make a Hail Mary at the end.
Well, you're out of timeouts.
It has to be to the sidelines.
13 seconds remaining. Yep, to the sideline it is. And Ingram will step out of bounds at the 8. So that's 8 seconds left.
That took 5 seconds, so if you want to do another one, it takes 5 seconds. We'll give you 3 seconds to throw the Hail Mary. And if you're the Eagles, you still have to play it safe. You might want to be able to defend that sideline and get up there and make a tackle before you get out of bounds.
Well, this could be some razzle-dazzle coming up here. They've taken out every one of their offensive linemen except their center. So here we go. That's Lewis, and that didn't fool anybody. Malcolm Jenkins coming up to make the tackle, and the Philadelphia Eagles win their 12th game of the year. And the New York Giants, for the first time since 1974, lose a 12th game of the season. We're back to East Rutherford to wrap it up in a moment.
Eagles 34-29 over the Giants. 12-2, first round bye. If they win Monday night, which is Christmas night, ho, 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 you'll get a great Christmas present. 2 home games, PT, in the NFL playoffs, essential. But, John, after watching that defense yesterday, will 2 home games be enough?
Well, you got to win 1 home game to get the second home game. And, the Eagles might clinch before Monday night, so that's a possibility if the Vikings lose to the Packers on Saturday. But they have some things to correct, there's no question. And defensively, you would think is not at the top of the list because of the uncertainty surrounding the quarterback and all that. But bottom line is they haven't played well recently, and there's no getting around it. And you get the feeling there's starting to be some excuses when you talk about road trips and body clock games in the opposite direction because in a weird way the Eagles were coming back from the West Coast. They just didn't play well against a bad football team. And I'm sure that's kind of going to be Jim Schwartz's take because he's not big on excuses.
Is it a fair excuse to say, look, we were out west, we played 2 high-level games that had a lot of meaning to them, and then we come back home and we're playing against a team that's 2-11? I mean, we talked a little bit about overlooking this team. In fact, it was one of my keys yesterday. Don't overlook this team after you play 2 high-profile games. Human nature kicks in. We're playing a team that's 2-11. It's the 3rd week in a row. Is it fair or not fair?
Well, we've talked a lot about those games this year, let down human nature games, and for the most part the Eagles have been able to avoid that trap, and they won the game. I mean, so you have to give them credit for that. But yeah, I always talk about the human nature of looking at a 2-11 team and sort of taking it for granted, and not only that, but you don't have all the benching of the quarterback, the firing of the coach, the firing of the general manager, Odell Beckham not being there. So there's a lot of reasons not to take that team very seriously. But when you see them giving up 500 yards of total offense, 400 through the air, and as I said, it's not OBJ out there. It's Tavares King and players like that. So it was a tough day for the defense, but you hope it's a hiccup, and it is just the fact that they overlooked the team. But I think now you have to start questioning maybe that secondary is starting to leak oil, because if you go all the way back to training camp in week 1, we're concerned about that secondary. and maybe it's starting to finally show up.
Yeah, you wrote about it that the secondary was the main culprit. You had Mills, Darby. They didn't have Rasul Douglas active yesterday. Robinson gets a concussion, but what was it about them that was struggling in that secondary? Is it the coverage, the tackling? I mean, when you say that they were the culprit, what did they not do very well yesterday?
All the above.
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. I think Pete's right. The tackling wasn't good. It didn't seem they were prepared for the Giants' tempo early, which is strange because it's not like that's new. They do that a lot. And as I wrote on 973ESPN.com, that the fact that they didn't handle those quick slants at all, and generally they've been really good with that throughout the season. And they were just giving out huge separation, and that gave the Giants the ability to get yards after catch. It was just a strange performance, and from that standpoint, you kind of do lean towards the fact that maybe it was the anomaly and it's not the trend, because that's the first time really that they've played that poorly. Now, they've had issues and hurdles along the way, but when it all comes together like that and you don't cover and you get beat on double moves and you don't tackle, maybe it is a good thing in a weird way, because you say that's probably not going to continue.
John, since you mentioned double moves, Ronald Darby is the guy you highlighted in your 10 things to know. I've seen some discussion and talk and narrative out there that maybe Ronald Darby looks a little lost out there, that he's having perhaps a crisis of confidence. What are you seeing out of Ronald Darby right now?
Yeah, he didn't play well. He was in that category, probably the main culprit, because he got beat so many times on double moves. He also, though, got the big play that really put Philadelphia back on track when they were down 27, and gave them the short field to go in and score. That kind of changed the momentum of the game. So it wasn't all bad. He's still got ability. We know that. But he's definitely got to clean it up, because people are going to watch that film and say, this guy's susceptible to double moves. And clearly, everyone can see that now. So I don't think it's the last time Ronald Darby's going to be seeing that this season.
You put any stock into the fact that, they only had one sack in the game, but then again, you've got a system where Eli 1-2-3 throw, right? They try to get the ball out quickly. They did that again. You're not expecting to get a lot of sacks. Could that also be a reason that the secondary struggled? It got exposed because the front four aren't able to get the quarterback down to the ground.
Not necessarily. I don't think it was the best game the front four has played by any stretch of the imagination. And there were times when they didn't get home. The few times when the Giants did, and Eli held on to the football a little bit longer. But you're right. You never look at sacks when you play the Giants. Never, ever, ever, because he's going to get rid of the football. So to me, that's not important. What's important is getting him off his spots and hurrying him up even more. And the Eagles really didn't do that. And from that standpoint, it wasn't their best game. But, he's always going to throw 3 or 4 a game that you have a chance to make plays on. I don't think the Eagles took full advantage of that. The Nigel Bradham pass interception should have ended the game. Ronald got one. There were a couple other ones they could have picked off and didn't. So it's more of sort of not finishing those particular plays.
When we did studs and duds, John, I gave my number one stud to the special teams a week after they had gotten their own punt blocked against the Rams. They came out and blocked 3 kicks in the game, and I thought it was nice that you gave kudos to Ryan Brayman, too, for specifically spotting out what he did on the punt block.
Yeah, he's a great special teams player, and that was the one thing I think through sort of the Chip Kelly regime and when Dave Fitt got here, I thought the Eagles were better and ahead of the curve of most NFL teams, because they specifically sort of went out and got good special teams players. Everybody else seems to, put your backup linebacker on there, put your backup safety corner, what have you, and hope their athleticism translates into good special teams play. It doesn't always work like that. And the Eagles have always been really, really good about locating players that are good at special teams. It starts with Chris Maragos and Brian Bremen, always has. Maragos is one of those season-ending injuries nobody talks about. We always talk, obviously, you talk about Carson Wentz and Jason Peters and Jordan Hicks and Darren Sproles. You should put Maragos in that category. That's how important he is on special teams. They haven't been the same since he went down. That's why they brought Raymond back and mentioned to bring energy to the unit. And, hey, looks real good early. I mean, it's tough to plot kicks in this league, and they get 3 in one game.
Hey, John, they talked. There was a lot of talk this week about were they going to change the offense, were they going to do anything. Any evidence that they did anything different yesterday, or did they run essentially the same offense?
No, they essentially ran the same offense, and I think that was important to Doug, and he mentioned it after the game. And I asked him the question. I said, look, you can say all you want, nothing changes when the MVP of this league goes down. I don't know if anybody believes you. And he had to show not only to the fans and media, and forget that, he had to show it to his own locker room. And that's what I think he did. And to his credit, he didn't scale anything back from an offensive standpoint. And you get 4 touchdowns. I mean, you can't say enough about that team's offense. And by the way, they left a lot on the field. And you think about it, they got 4 touchdowns from Carson Wentz last week. They get 4 touchdowns from Nick Foles this week. That doesn't happen often in this league. And they're able to do it with 2 different quarterbacks. And as I said, it really –
not to mention, John, they scored 34 with the backup left tackle and the third left guard.
Yeah, and the defense, we took shots at them. Also give them credit, as I said, for the Darby play. They got a short field, and also the special teams. Pete mentioned the block punt, which was a short field. So that contributed as well. But, hey, 4 touchdowns is 4 touchdowns, as I said. That's pretty good.
Absolutely. One of the things moving forward here, that defense, obviously had its struggles, but they struggled the week before against the Rams. They struggled the week before that against Seattle. You start to wonder, as in years past. Now, I know in the Kelly years it was, they were always on the field too much because they had some times in the Kelly years where for like 10 weeks you'd be like, maybe I do believe in this defense, and then boom, they'd come absolutely crashing down. You just hope that that's not what's going on with this defense, because a lot of us kept saying, well, this defense is playing over their head. So do you think that we're seeing a team that played over their head, just had a bad couple of weeks, or what?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I think it's fairer to say, look, you're on the road against 2 really good teams. One, a very, very explosive offense with the Rams. The other, maybe not as consistent, but they have Russell Wilson, so the difficulties there. So to me, I could overlook those performances and say, at least they came back and played really well in the fourth quarter against the Rams. This one's tougher. I can't. I mean, that's a bad football team. And they don't do anything well. They don't throw the ball well. They don't run the ball well. And you look up after 60 minutes of football, and they got a 504 yards, I think was the final tally. It's tough to spin that in a positive direction. So you have to start asking questions. I think ultimately the front 4 is going to be fine. I don't think that was their best performance, as I said, but there's too much talent there. But now you start to ask some questions about the back end, and I think that's legitimate.
A lot of questions today regarding what will the plan be if they clinch on Christmas night, if that game is kind of wrapped up. Doug kind of said he had a plan. He's begun thinking about it, but didn't really reveal anything. Do you think – because he did say later on that in a perfect world kind of that Nate Sudfeld, he'd like to get some playing time.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought Week 17 because I think the Eagles will ultimately clinch. It depends. Like I said, you got to go status quo during the week because you have to wait till Saturday night to see what happens with the Vikings and Packers. And ultimately, they could already clinch if Green Bay wins. They don't even have to play anybody against the Raiders. So, but I think you need Nick Foles. The one thing I will criticize him for in the Giants, you saw a number of times sort of double clutching. And I think that relates to the fact he hasn't played a lot. And you just got to get more comfortable out there. So I think there's something to he needs to play that full football game. And I think when you get to Week 17, I think you've clinched, and then you sort of treat it like the Week 3 preseason game. Maybe give him a quarter and a half, and then go to Nate Sudfeld. Ultimately, I think that's what they're going to do.
John, last year the Eagles were 1-7 on the road. This year they're 6-2, and I know Doug was asked today about why he thinks they're having more success on the road. Why do you think they're having more success on the road?
Well, I'll tell you, it helps when you travel as well as they do and you're good. I mean, when we always talk home versus road, first of all, you got to be a good football team. Or you don't have a home field advantage, you don't win on the road. So that's number one, and they're obviously a good football team. But Eli admitted, look, they had a chance to win that football game. Granted, it was 4th and goal, I think, at the 6-yard line. They got a false start because the Eagles fans there were so loud, Bobby Hart jumped. And we've talked about their ability to take over stadiums, especially in Los Angeles with the Chargers and the Rams. So you got to give the Eagles fans a lot of credit. There's certain games, Seattle being a notable example, because they would have been there if they could get in the stadium. And typically you can't get into MetLife Stadium, but because of the disastrous year the Giants have had, people looking to get rid of their tickets, and the Eagles fans picked them up, and they were extraordinarily loud. So I think that helps. But I think when we talk about the Eagles getting to 11-2, you start the first bullet point of everything is the MVP, and that's Carson Wentz.
By the way, earlier in the show, Bobby Hart was referred to as Bret Hart.
That was by me.
Which would be...
It just said B. Hart, and I went with the first name that came out of my mouth, and it happened to be Brett.
Yeah, so what would be your top...
And by the way, Pete's the only non-wrestling guy on this conversation.
Right, so what would be your top Bret the Hitman Hart moment? The Montreal Screwjob or Stone Cold Steve Austin passing out with blood pouring down his face at WrestleMania 13?
That's tremendous. And don't forget the Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels at, I believe, WrestleMania 12.
That's right. You also have the King of the Ring in 2000, what was that, 93?
But I would think the best match I've ever seen in my life is what you just mentioned, Mike, WrestleMania 13. Bret Hart, Steve Austin, sort of the double turn. Which is very rare to do in wrestling and very difficult to pull off.
Yes, the double turn with Stone Cold pouring blood down his face.
Exactly.
All right. Catch or not a catch?
Well, there's a bigger explanation. By the NFL rules, it's not a catch.
Right.
They made the right call.
Isn't that the problem, though, that's not a catch?
The rule is bad, yes. But I've always said, people, to win an argument, you have to be under the right premise. And people are upset about the officials, the replay officials. That's not who you should be upset about. You should be upset at the legislation, which is the rule itself. They're only doing what they're told to do. So don't get angry at the officials. Get angry at the league and say, you've got to change this rule. It's stupid.
I would agree. Well, here's the thing. Okay, the guy catches the ball. That's obvious. It's clear and present right in front of your face. He caught the ball. His knee is now touching the ground. His one knee now equals 2 feet. He has essentially caught the ball, but no one has touched him.
Exactly.
So because no one's touched him, you now have the opportunity to not catch the ball. That doesn't make any sense. So he essentially fumbled the ball because he caught it. His knee was down. He made a football move, and him going down is now a fumble. So he essentially fumbled it and recovered it.
Well, and that's the problem with the league, and I've said for a lot of times, the over legislation and the casual fan can't understand it. And sometimes I question myself for understanding it, and I because it's so convoluted. If he's a runner, yes, it's a fumble. But because he's a receiver, the knee down doesn't matter. None of that matters until he completes the entire catch.
But for every other position, it matters, except for the wideout. That's what makes
right, because he's considered going to ground. He's considered going to ground.
Exactly.
Like if a running back,
upright.
if they handed the ball
off. A running
off,
back does the same thing. It's a fumble. If nobody touches him,
right,
and a running back does the same thing, it's a fumble. A receiver, none of that matters until he completes the catch, goes to the ground, and does all the histrionics. And we talk about it. The absurdity, think about just the absurdity of a running back sticking the tip of the football into the goal line, breaking the plane. Play's over. Play is completely over. And think about what a receiver has to do sometimes in the end zone and make these acrobatic catches. And sometimes they're phenomenal. And you could get 3 steps in bounds, but you're tumbling out. And if you hit the ground and the ball just comes out at the very end, it's no catch, no touchdown.
The ground
I will admit it makes no sense, but by the rule and by what the officials are asked to do, they got that call correct.
The ground can't cause a fumble, but it can cause an incompletion.
Yes.
All right. Have you ever seen an index card pulled out to get a first down?
I have not. Probably shouldn't have done that, but
the NFL said it was okay.
Yeah. Well, I think
the NFL said the ref's use of the index card was within the rules.
Yeah. Well, the NFL says a lot of things. But think about this. I'm driving to MetLife Stadium yesterday, and a English woman or Australian, I forget what Siri is telling me exactly where to go at all times. At all times. And we have this GPS technology. I think the goofiest thing in sports, and I think it's a tie between baseball and football. Baseball, the strike zone, which is so dramatically bad from umpire to umpire, and football with spots, which are so dramatically bad. You should be able to use GPS technology to know where that football is.
Chipping the ball.
Take advantage of the technology. Exactly. But they won't do it. And I don't understand it.
All right, John, that's all the time we have for today. I enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you, guys.